everyone, Novels Wonderland here. Thank you all for the love and support you've shown me and the channel.
Jujutsu Kaisen Caught in Culling Game, Chapter 1-37, Synopsis. It's original, not a translation or someone else's work. It's mine. After reincarnating in 1998 Japan, Tachibana Yosuke lived a fulfilling life for 20 years, without realizing that the world he was in was anything but normal. While waiting for the trains to start running again after an earthquake, to go to Shibuya to celebrate Halloween with his girlfriend, he was suddenly caught in the Culling game, and awakened cursed energy and cursed technique reincarnation. Realizing that his girlfriend has most likely died in Shibuya, he vowed to survive this death game, and get revenge on Sukuna and Kenjaku. Discord, https://discord. gg/psykfkpbfay, Tachibana Yosuke, Part 1, Name, Tachibana Yosuke Cursed Energy Level, 10 Sukuna Fingers, plus, Current, his own cursed energy trait, Calmness/Peacefulness of Reincarnation. Reverse Cursed Energy Trait, True Death, Cursed Technique, Reincarnation, Cursed Technique Reversal, Reversion Ability, Adaptation Maximum, True Death Reversal Maximum, New Soul. Shikigami, 4 Reincarnation Save a Cat, Get Hit by Truck-kun, Domain Expansion, Comment Terahashi Yuki Name, Terahashi Yuki Cursed Energy Level, 7 Sukuna Fingers. Cursed Energy Trait, Electric Cursed Technique, Cosplay, Mythical Beast Amber Maximum, None Shikigami, None Chance, None Domain Expansion, None. Yamakawa Miyako, Part 1, Name, Yamakawa Miyako Cursed Energy Level, 1 Sukuna Finger, Cursed Energy Trait, None Cursed Technique, Cosplay, Spider Maximum, None. Shikigami, None Chance, None Domain Expansion, Spiderweb Lair Chapter 1, 1. The number you have dialed is currently unreachable. The number you have dialed is currently unreachable. Why is Miyako's phone out of reach? Today is Halloween. So my girlfriend and I decided to meet in Shibuya to celebrate. But all trains and metros have been stopped due to an earthquake and derailment near Shibuya Station. I don't know why, but I have an uncomfortable feeling in my heart. That something is wrong. Something is unusual. 20 years ago, I got hit by Truck-kun, and got reincarnated in 1998 Japan as an orphan. So I used my future knowledge to become rich by first writing some light novels, and investing what I earned in Bitcoin and some companies like Nvidia. And now, I am rich, enrolled in a fairly good college, and have a cute girlfriend. So life was going good. Until now. Suddenly, my phone also lost signal. Not just mine, but everyone's on the station. Hey, did you lost signal too? What's happening? What is this weird sensation? It's as if someone is touching my mind. What's happening? Who is mindfucking me? Aya. What's that? After the sensation subsided, and I felt power surging in me, my eyes went wide. Aya. Everyone around me screamed. There were monsters everywhere. Most of the people around me vanished. And just as the rest of us started running away from the monsters, a bunch of cute monsters appeared beside us. I am Kogain. Inside this barrier, a lethal contest known as Culling Game has begun. You are a player Culling Game. I am in the freaking Jujutsu Kaisen world. Shibuya. Tears dripped from my eyes as I realized what might the possibility. Miyako is most likely dead. Why did I reincarnate in Jujutsu Kaisen? And at that moment, I instinctively knew what my curse technique is. Reincarnation. My massive, probably, cursed energy flickered as I tried to reinforce my body. And suddenly, all cursed spirits which were indiscriminately chasing after everyone started coming towards me. I punched and kicked them, and they easily got exorcised. Were they grade 4 or something? After the threat of cursed spirits was gone, all 21 people on the platform, who have also been caught in the Culling game, gathered around me, seeing that I have gotten rid of the cursed spirits. What's happening? What were those monsters? What kind of anime are we in? I want to go home. Where are you? Somehow, I have become some sort of leader here. So I shouted. Everyone. Calm down. It seems that we have been caught in something supernatural. Let's hear the rules first. I am Kogain. I will explain the rules of the culling game. So, everyone calmed down a little as Kogain began explaining the rules. Once a player has awakened their cursed technique, they must declare their participation in the culling game at the colony of their choice within 19 days. Any player who breaks the previous rule will be subject to curse technique removal. Non-players who enter a colony become players at the moment of entry, and will be considered to have declared participation in the culling game. Players score points by ending the lives of other players. The point value of a player's life is decided by the game master. As a general rule, sorcerers are worth 5 points, and non-sorcerers are worth 1 point. Excluding the point value of the player's own life, a player can expend 100 points to negotiate with the game master, and add a new rule to the game. In accordance with Rule 6, the game master must accept any proposed new rule as long as it doesn't have a long-lasting effect on the game. If a player's score remains the same for 19 days, they will be subject to curse technique removal. As expected, it really is the world of Jujutsu Kaisen. And I was unaware about it for whole 20 years. And just my luck, I got caught in culling game and became a player. Moreover, I didn't receive any points from exorcising the cursed spirits since I didn't declare my participation first. What the hell is this bullshit? I am not participating. A man yelled at his Kogain, and before I could do anything, his Kogain said, removing curse technique. Sadly, his Kogain didn't listen to me, and the next moment, he dropped on the ground. Eyes open but looking brain dead. He was dead. Aya aya. People screamed, and I gulped as I hastily approached the body. I have the curse technique, reincarnation. I can save him. I put my hands on his body, and used my cursed technique. Reincarnation. I could feel that he has reincarnated. But he was still brain dead. His body didn't get healed. And with his brain dead, even his heartbeat didn't return. Is there a doctor here? Do chest compressions. Everyone looked around, but there was no doctor around us. So even though the man was brought back to life by me, he died again. I witnessed the first death in the 20 years of my second life. And Psycho is most likely dead as well because of Kenjaku and Sukuna. I swear I will kill No. I don't want to make a binding vow. This is the worst. Why did I reincarnate in this world? Chapter 2. Introductions. I sighed and looked at the remaining 20 people. Don't try to exit the culling game. It will lead to certain death. But what does this mean? If we don't kill a player in 19 days, do we have to kill each other to survive? I shook my head. Just humans aren't players. Monsters are players too. For now, we need to stay together and ensure that we get at least 1 point each for each person within 19 days, or someone gets 100 points, and establish a new rule for allowing transfer of points. I will say this first. My curse technique is reincarnation. So, I can revive you as long as you get healed. This guy got revived, but he is brain dead, his heart didn't start again, and he died again. So as long as you don't take too much damage, or we get a healer with us, we can survive. I revealed my curse technique to make everyone aware that I am the most important person here. That my survival is important if they want to have a higher chance of survival. Moreover, let's establish some ground rules that will ensure that no one betrays us and tries to kill us to get points. I just understood from my curse technique that there is something called binding vow. It's like a contract, recognized by the world. On breaking it, it leads to certain death. Those who want to move together, take a binding vow with each other that we won't harm each other. Those who don't want to take this binding vow, you can leave the group and go off on your own. Of course, harm here is up to the participants' view of exactly what it means. Just like Yuji didn't consider himself in the not harming anyone binding vow he did with Sukuna. So, the binding vow will be an assurance against backstabbing, and have loopholes of what I am considering as harm in case of emergency. Since most people might be considering harm to be killing, given the situation. Using my curse technique on them isn't harm. For them too, using my curse technique on them isn't harm, since I can revive them using it. This loophole should be enough for any future emergencies. Everyone looked at each other, some hesitated, and most were relieved about having a way to prevent betrayal that they have been fearing. I am working on my own. A muscular guy said and left. And the rest of 19 agreed. So with me, a group of 20 people was formed, and we took the binding vow with each other. Right now, we are weak. And who knows what psycho-sorcerer of path might target us. So it's best to be in a group. I should introduce myself. I am Tachibana Yosuke. My curse technique is reincarnation. And I am telling this beforehand, but I am not the leader of this group who can guarantee our survival. You can't just leave everything to me and expect things to work out. We have to put our efforts together desperately to survive. No one can slack off, or they will be on their own. It's better to lay things out properly from the start. A hunk nodded and said, I am Sato Tenya. My curse technique is water manipulation. And this is my son Sato Kentaro. My curse technique is Beyblade. Water manipulation, huh? Though he doesn't seem to have much cursed energy, his curse technique will be very versatile. After them, the others also introduced themselves. Though their cursed techniques didn't sound that powerful, the main curse techniques which I think have potential are reincarnation, me water manipulation, Sato, a hunk dad, cosplay, Terahashi, an otaku girl. Mist, Hanjo, a glasses guy, with introductions out of the way, and declaring our participation in the Culling game. Now it's time to dash, let's find a shelter and supplies first. Chapter 3, 3. Base and encountering a cursed spirit, let's get shelter in a school. We will be able to use its ground for practice. My school is nearby, so I know everything about it. Terahashi suggested a place of shelter. Ideally, a school is the most used place for shelter. It has many rooms, kitchen, cleaning supplies, and washrooms. Cursed energy is created due to negative emotions. So school must have more powerful cursed spirits. Let's go for the least stressful place. How about a love hotel? Hanjo pointed at the love hotel nearby. We have a kid here. Sato scolded Hanjo, but he scoffed. I bet he knows that sort of things already. Kids these days with internet get exposed to that stuff all the time. Sato's kid, Kentaro, who is probably 10 to 11-year-old kid, averted his eyes as Hanjo stared at him. Don't shout. You will attract other players. I whispered to him, and considered Hanjo's suggestion. Gojo Satoru said that love leads to the strongest curses. But it's probably due to getting rejected or losing your loved ones, or things like that. If someone is going to Love Hotel, they must be happy. Thinking about that, I couldn't help but think about Miyako. Let's focus on survival first. I tried to check the internet if anything bad happened in this hotel in the past, but there was no signal. How inconvenient. The Love Hotel seems to be the best choice. Let's go there. So, we made our base in the ground floor of the Love Hotel. Surprisingly, electricity was still working. So why is there no signal? Anyway, we gathered all the food and important supplies from the convenience store and stored them in our rooms. Each room had a fridge. So canned food should be enough for lasting everyone a month. After getting into our rooms, we gathered in the reception. It's going to be 12 a.m. a few minutes. The dangerous players will probably be hunting in the darkness, so we need to be alert. At all times, 3 to 4 people should remain awake. I looked at the kid of our group, Kentaro. You should go to sleep. The rest of us will take turns. Today is the first day, so we should get some basics done. So we started training. The first thing to do is cursed energy reinforcement of the whole body. While everyone was struggling, I and Terahashi managed to get a hang of it pretty fast. Guess it's a perk of watching too much anime. So we went to the mall to buy some things. I looked at Terahashi, who was cosplaying as a bunny girl. According to what she told me, her cursed technique, cosplay, allows her to get the abilities of the character she is cosplaying as. Thankfully, it was Halloween a few hours ago, so finding cosplay in mall was very easy. First, she cosplayed as Naruto, her favorite character. He. Shadow clone jutsu. She made the hand signs and shouted excitedly. A shadow clone really appeared. But it took all her cursed energy to make a single shadow clone, which also puffed away in less than 5 seconds after exhausting everything. So I can't use moves that use too much cursed energy, huh? You have to choose someone who is very efficient. Efficient. I can't think of anything. I don't watch much shounen. And speaking of efficient, Gojo Satoru came in my mind. But I think cosplaying as Toji will be better, as it will not only remove the problem of cursed energy itself, but she will be useful in running away and work well in domains. Though if she cosplays as Gojo, mastering his technique will be too difficult, and I don't expect her to master domain expansion. And without reverse curse technique, she wouldn't be able to go on like him. Still, cosplaying as Gojo will provide her maximum safety, unless Kenjaku decides to kill her. If someone had such a great curse technique in the OG story and still didn't get mentioned once, she probably died early. I have 2 ideas. Suddenly, we felt a shiver. A cursed spirit appeared. Please. This item can't be returned. A cursed spirit which can speak. Com/Indrashish 100 Chapter 4 Battle against a cursed spirit. Tachibana Yosuke stood between Terahashi and the cursed spirit. She has exhausted her cursed energy, so he will have to fight it alone. His immense cursed energy flared, covering entirety of his body. But despite having more cursed energy than Yuta due to his past life, Terahashi, who stood behind him, didn't feel uncomfortable. While Kashimo's cursed energy has electric trait, Hikari's has sandpaper-like rough and gritty feel, Yosuke's cursed energy has the calm of samsara-like feel, helpful for his cursed technique, reincarnation. Terahashi. Go and wear black compression t-shirt and Hakama pants. It's cosplay of Toji, who has amazing physical ability despite having no energy. I will try to hold him off. Terahashi nodded and ran to find such clothes for the cosplay. She didn't know this Toji character, but she will do her best to survive. She is grateful to Tachibana. She suddenly found herself in a death game, so she is lucky that she has someone reliable leading the charge. And since his curse technique is a reincarnation, she has an inkling that Tachibana isn't in this death game for the first time. Maybe he is in a time loop trying to save everyone. If they survive this, she will ask him whether her assumptions are true or not. Back at Tachibana, he was currently punching the cursed spirit, hoping to strike a black flash. Please. This item can't be returned. The cursed spirit, store clerk, is a humanoid with abnormally big head and sharp and long knives for his fingers, due to the strees of working as a store clerk when he was a human and getting stabbed. As a human, he could see the cursed spirits since he was 4, which led him to always live in fear, thinking that he has gone mad that he sees ghosts while no one else does. He had no cursed technique and too little cursed energy, and Jujutsu High never got to know that he had the potential to be a sorcerer, and neither did he. But then, an angry customer was trying to get a refund on a shirt he bought and spilled coffee on, and stabbed him with a knife upon refusal to return it. Store clerk died, leading to release of immense cursed energy due to death, and becoming a cursed spirit because he wasn't killed with cursed energy. A semi-grade 1 cursed spirit, which was caught by Kenjaku and then released in Culling game as a player, was attacking these people who entered his store. Please. This item can't be returned. Yosuke dodged a stab attempt and punched it in the gut, sending it flying. I guess I have big amount of cursed energy, to have the reinforcement having such great strength. Yosuke had no real skill with cursed energy reinforcement, aside from covering his entire body in it and letting it run wild. Store clerk healed himself easily with cursed energy itself, but he was now in fear of Yosuke after getting hit once. Yosuke ran towards it, and store clerk also started running to kill that girl, the weaker target. Yosuke put more cursed energy in his legs, and his speed increased dramatically. He easily caught up to store clerk, whose back was completely defenseless. He grabbed its back and delivered a German suplex. 5 points obtained. Store clerk died and started turning to dust of cursed energy, and Yosuke decided to test his cursed technique on it, since he knew that this cursed spirit wasn't a big deal. Reincarnation. Exactly what is reincarnation? It's different from rebirth probably. Yosuke thought that, maybe, his curse technique allows not only himself and others to get resurrected, but also interfere in the nature of the entity he is reincarnating to a degree. After all, in the religious texts that talk about reincarnation, there is a thing called not reincarnating as a human again due to bad karma. Sadly, it didn't work the way he expected. Even though he tried to put a condition on it to get reincarnated as a Shikigami, store clerk got reincarnated as a cursed spirit again without any changes, aside from the limited amount of cursed energy it had. Yosuke beat it up again to an inch of its life, and grabbed a t-shirt nearby. Can he reincarnate others into objects? He grabbed the neck of the curse technique with one hand, and the t-shirt with other. Reincarnation. It was successful. Store clerk flowed into the t-shirt, and it became its new body. Knives erupted all over it. But it couldn't really move properly, due to being a t-shirt. I am Kogain. Do you want to participate in the culling game? Kogain appeared and asked the t-shirt. Yosuke has found a loophole. He can farm points this way, and head to Shibuya to search for his girlfriend. At the very least, he has to confirm what exactly happened, and find her body to give her a funeral with her parents. If her body didn't turn into ashes due to Sukuna's domain expansion. For every 2 chapters on Patreon, I am posting one here from now on to stack chapters. Read 1 chapter in advance on com/Indrashish 100 chapter 5. 5 points obtained. 5 points obtained. By the time I got a total of 20 points, I couldn't reincarnate the cursed spirit anymore. I guess I got too arrogant thinking that I found an infinite point glitch. Perhaps, reincarnating several times lead to exhaustion of soul or something. Tachibana-san, you sure are pretty ruthless, huh? I glanced back at Terahashi, who was now in Toji fit. Did it work? Maybe I need to actually know the character to cosplay. I have only watched Naruto for Battle Shonen, and I couldn't complete it. Maybe I shouldn't have watched so much rom-com and shoujo. I will cosplay as Sakura. Healer, storing cursed energy in the Byakuga seal, and super strength. That will be perfect. That will solve our need for a healer, and her low cursed energy. As she was changing into the new outfit, she asked me from behind the changing room. Say Tachibana-san, is it really your first time in a death game? Perhaps she is assuming things because of my curse technique being reincarnation. Which school do you go to? I am a second-year university student. You are 2 years older than me. Should I call you senpai? Do as you like. I don't really get all this formality stuff, nor do I care about it. Anyway, after she was done cosplaying as Sakura, we also took some other stuff from the mall. Like katana and crossbars. The katana was, obviously, for cosplay. While it's made of steel, it is blunt. I enveloped it in my cursed energy, but my control wasn't good enough to make the edges of the energy sharp enough. Controlling cursed energy beyond enveloping myself in it is really difficult. And given the volume of my cursed energy, I think I have a good amount of it. Anyway, just as we reached the hotel, we heard screams. Aya Aya. Another cursed spirit. We ran inside, and pushed through the crowd which had gathered in Sato's room. Terahashi also joined in the screaming. On the bed, Sato and his son Kentaro laid in their pool of blood. Their heads crushed. Someone has murdered Sato and his kid. Read 2 chapter in advance on com/Indrashish 100 chapter 6. Another murder. Someone has murdered Sato and his kid, crushing their heads. I gulped, trying to control my shivering at the grotesque sight. Terahashi. Try to heal them. She nodded and tried to heal them. But with their heads crushed, it was useless. She was emitting a green glow because of her cosplay as Sakura. It wasn't really reverse cursed technique, and healing jutsu is less effective than it. Moreover, she is not a doctor. Did anyone notice someone coming here? Many of us were awake. We just heard a scream, and then it was this. So, maybe invisibility, or teleportation as cursed technique. And whoever it is, it must have known about Sato's son being a kid, and the easiest target in our group. Is it that muscular guy who refused to join our group with the binding vow? And even if he isn't, how to deal with this unknown curse technique? It seems like they were punched in the head from close distance. And the window is closed. So sniping isn't the case. Tachibana-san. There is some invisible thing, like blood. Terahashi exclaimed as she was trying her best to heal the crushed heads. But her cursed energy was exhausted again. I also touched the beds and the still wet blood was indeed there but invisible. I guess whoever killed them was a noob. And blood might have clung to his fists, that's why he used his curse technique, invisibility. And it seems that he can even turn other things invisible, like Sato and his kid's blood. What a troublesome technique. How to find the user. Terahashi, cosplay as Hinata and use Byakugan. She has brought all sorts cosplays, which are very useful for all sorts of scenarios. I will need time to recover my cursed energy. Low cursed energy is a serious drawback. Erg. Suddenly, someone screamed. Everyone became alerted and looked at the person in question. A knife was pierced in Hanjo's heart. Without any cursed energy. Take Sato and his kid's body and run. I screamed as Hanjo was murdered, and he became a cursed spirit. Oh come on. Who the hell is this murderer? Read 3 chapter in advance on com/Indrashish 100 chapter 7. The whole hotel started getting enveloped by mist. Hanjo's curse technique is mist. After becoming a cursed spirit, he seems to be attacking indiscriminately without any ego as we are running. Did his death undo the binding vow he made with us? Come back to your senses, don't attack him. I tried to warn Itsuki, but just as she tried to punch cursed spirit Hanjo's body, she dropped dead. So our binding vow with him weren't cancelled. That's totally unfair. Or maybe it's just because Itsuki still saw the cursed spirit as Hanjo. So this is a drawback of having a big group, huh? Take Itsuki and leave. I will deal with him. I took a deep breath and erupted my cursed energy in full power to protect myself from the mist. Thankfully, it isn't poison, just normal mist formed by water droplets. So it isn't that harmful. I grabbed a pen from my pocket with my left hand, and touched Hanjo with my right. The order probably doesn't matter, since pen is not alive. Reincarnation. And so, cursed spirit Hanjo flew into the pen, and reincarnated as pen. He could no longer move, but he was still releasing mist. As I thought, my curse technique isn't registered as harm. But I am not willing to experiment if I can punch Hanjo because I no longer think of him as the previous human Hanjo. Terahashi gritted her teeth, and put a shopping bag over the pen releasing mist, wrapping it up. Reincarnating him back in his body wouldn't work, right? He has lost his mind. So he will still attack everyone. Then let's place him in a safe place. Terahashi seems to have gotten a pretty good idea of how sorcery works in a short amount of time. Placing Hanjo in a safe place will not be harm. I sighed and looked at Itsuki, who has died due to violating a binding vow. But her body is fine. Can I reincarnate her? As I was distracted, a sound of stabbing came. No, 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 no. I grabbed Terahashi's hand, who was still safe, and shouted at everyone to run. The murderer has recognized the cheat of obtaining double points from the same people by killing them without cursed energy, turning them into cursed spirits. And he even knows that we can't harm each other. He is catching up. Killing everyone indiscriminately. Why the hell is a cursed technique like invisibility in the hands of a no-name mob, and a murderer at that? Think something. He must have been killed by Kashimo in the original story. Do you know where Sukuna is? As we were running, Kashimo appeared in front of us. What a luck. I don't know whether it is good or bad. But first kill the murderer chasing us. I only saw his grin, and then there was a blur with cackling lightning past us. His Kogen shouted twice, 5 points received, and the invisible guy died and became visible. Along with another guy. It was the muscular guy who refused to be the part of the group, along with someone else that he must have turned invisible. The remaining of us sighed in relief. Though those who died started releasing their cursed energy and started mixing together. Is a special grade cursed spirit forming? Kashimo didn't care about it and asked me, why were you running away from such weak sorcerers, when you have so much cursed energy? They were invisible. Haven't you learned how to track cursed energy? Even if their bodies and cursed energy become invisible, they weren't as proficient. Traces of cursed energy were still visible if you tracked cursed energy. I said dumbly. I didn't even know that it was possible. Give us a break. We haven't gotten these powers for even a full day yet. Terahashi shouted, finally releasing her stress now that someone powerful has arrived. But Kashimo isn't our ally. He almost killed Panda in the original story. If he is willing to kill a cute panda, he will definitely not hesitate in killing us. He is a more pressing threat than the cursed spirit forming behind him. So where is Sukuna? He is in 2 places. 3 out of 4 of him is locked in a kid named Itadori Yuji. The rest of him is still in the form of his fingers, and we don't know where they are. So Sukuna isn't at his full strength. And locked up in a kid. Kenjaku lied to me. Where is this Itadori Yuji? I don't know. But he is under the protection of Gojo Satoru, who is stronger than Sukuna. Though he is currently sealed by Kenjaku, I don't recommend going after Itadori. If you want a good fight, it will be better for you to help in unsealing Gojo Satoru and fight him. Kashimo suddenly put his staff against my neck. I couldn't even react. I didn't tell you that I want a strong opponent, did I? Are you with Kenjaku? I fucked up. Read for chapter in advance on com/Indrashish 100 Chapter 8, Membership Gift. https://www.com/sumbar/redeem/2924 Ayo. So my friend is writing original novels, so it is a membership gift for his Patreon. Chapter 9, 8. Promise of a fight, and a special grade cursed spirit. I didn't tell you that I want a strong opponent, did I? Are you with Kenjaku? I fucked up. I want to kill him. Thankfully, Kashimo let go of me. Well, you got that right that I want to fight the strongest opponent, Sukuna. And if you are saying that Gojo Satoru is stronger than Sukuna, who hasn't regained his full power, I will fight him too. Sadly, he is sealed. So for now, I will fight you. You have an incredible amount of cursed energy. At least let me gain some experience. It hasn't been even a day since I awakened as a sorcerer. How about this? Today is November 1st. So I will fight you on January 1st. I will come for you after you have gained 100 points. Well then. Saying that, Kashimo left us to our own device. He can't even wait 2 months. Fuck this farmer. Well, at the very least, I have some time before I get 100 points and have to fight Kashimo. I should be able to prepare a vessel for my reincarnation in advance before that through my technique. Senpai, it seems that the cursed spirit has finished forming. Terahashi brought my senses back to our current situation. Our group of 20 has been reduced to just 2 of us. And the remaining group of sorcerers which was fleeing with us got killed, and their cursed energy leaked at the same place, and has formed a most likely special cursed spirit. A translucent one with big kitchen knives all over its body. Formed due to fear of the invisible murderer with killing them with kitchen knife. Terahashi, hide somewhere. I will surely be injured against this, so I will need you to heal me later. Healer must remain safe. Then the one who can resurrect us should remain safe. She does have a point. I guess we are jumping it. Since running doesn't seem to be the option against this domain expansion, what the hell? Goal this week, 500 power stones. Read 5 chapter in advance on com/Indrashish 100 chapter 11, 9. Reverse curse technique and curse technique reversal 1125 words. The invisible, kitchen knife curse spirit, which is more translucent than transparent, was a cursed womb formed from the group of newly awakened sorcerers' fear of the invisible murderer, who has been killing them with a kitchen knife. Instead of each sorcerer become cursed spirits due to getting killed without cursed energy, due to the proximity, the cursed energy accumulated to form a cursed womb. And given the time Kashima wasted, it fully evolved into a special grade cursed spirit. Its instinct is to murder anyone and everyone in its path. But the person in front of it had way more cursed energy than it. And due to the group of sorcerers considering Tachibana their leader in this death game, it instinctively considered Tachibana to be very strong. It even instinctively feared Tachibana trapping it into some objects, like he had done with Curse Hanjo. So it decided to go all out from the beginning. Due to being made of the souls and memories of the people it is made of, instead of being a conventional newborn cursed spirit like Mahito, it understood what should be the peak of his curse technique, kitchen knife, which allows him to control kitchen knives made of cursed energy. Domain expansion, unlimited knife works. A domain barrier made of translucent body of the cursed spirit itself instead of a conventional barrier opened and trapped Tachibana and Terahashi. And so, knives from all directions started raining down on them from the barrier. Tachibana grabbed Terahashi, who still hasn't recovered much of her cursed energy, and let out his cursed energy envelop them to protect them from the attacks. Tachibana, due to being a reincarnator, has cursed energy level similar to Yuta. Moreover, he isn't manifestating a queen of curses like Rika. Moreover, he has a calming effect with his cursed energy, calming down the killing intent of the cursed energy coming in contact with him, and making it less effective. So his defense against the knives is good even without anti-domain techniques, but it wouldn't last for long. Tachibana was trying to think about his inner domain for achieving domain expansion. Even if I die here, I will probably reincarnate as a cursed spirit without losing my sanity due to my technique. But Terahashi's body will not survive to reincarnate her back. I can't let everyone die. Just then, a knife managed to chip away at his defense and hit him in the back. Erg. Tachibana-senpai. Terahashi used Sakura's healing jutsu on him, and at that moment, Tachibana Yosuke reached a form of enlightenment somewhat similar to Gojo Satoru, though not on his own but with Terahashi's help. Terahashi doesn't know reverse cursed technique. But she is cosplaying as Sakura, and is using healing jutsu with her cursed energy. How does it work if her healing jutsu isn't providing positive energy? It works by multiplying her cursed energy with the targets inside the target's body, converting their negative energy into positive, giving the effect of reverse cursed technique. And the moment reverse curse technique, with majority of it being made of his own cursed energy, ran through his body, Tachibana Yosuke instinctively copied the way their cursed energy was multiplying, to multiply his own cursed energy by imagining it -1/2 unit, times -1/2 unit, hence converting his entire 1 unit of cursed energy into 1/4 unit reverse curse technique. And the moment the cursed energy surrounding Tachibana and Terahashi was converted into reverse curse technique, kitchen knife's technique, was disrupted and its domain, made of his own body, collapsed. It screamed, the positive energy having destroyed 95% of its body. It was only able to survive because it cut off himself from the body, the rest of his body which was forming the domain. Moreover, while the cursed energy of Tachibana had a calming effect, his positive energy was the terror of true death, the feeling of a death, which will kill the unkillable immortal soul, and prevent it from entering the cycle of reincarnation. Terahashi started shivering with the terror she felt, and Kitchen Knife started crawling to run. I understand it now. Tachibana muttered as he let Terahashi on the ground, and approached the cursed spirit trying to flee in terror. Tachibana Yosuke looked at his energy overflowing through his body, which has transformed from white to black. His curse technique is a reincarnation. A soul is immortal. Even if someone dies, their soul enters the cycle of reincarnation. And the soul continues to reincarnate until it achieved nirvana and ceases to exist. That's why the cursed spirit in the mall couldn't be reincarnated after the third time. He now understood what his domain expansion should be, but right now, he was going to use the curse technique reversal of reincarnation. It will be to return the soul to its previous state, instead of the next state in reincarnation. And if applied to the maximum, a clean slate as the starting point where a new soul is born. He put his hand on Kitchen Knife, and applied his curse technique reversal. Curse technique reversal, reversion. 5 points gained. Kitchen Knife, a cursed spirit which is an amalgamation of the souls of the dead members of the group, reverted to individual souls in the process of becoming cursed spirits. Reversion. And using it again, they reverted into human souls, though they have lost most of their strength, and have become very weak due to trauma, and can no longer wield cursed energy more than a window. Tachibana Yosuke walked and tried to heal the destroyed bodies that were caught in the domain expansion, but could not heal them well enough to be vessels. Reverse curse technique is way less effective outside of body on others. He couldn't hold the weak souls for long, as they began to disintegrate and enter the cycle of reincarnation. He can't bring them back to proper life in time. Not without putting them into new bodies that will snatch the lives of others. Entering the cycle of reincarnation won't heal their trauma, but it will carry on in their next lives until they lose their soul strength and achieve nirvana. Letting them suffer like this will be too cruel. So Tachibana Yosuke decided to revert them to their pure starting state, without any trauma, and recover their full soul strength. Curse technique reversal maximum, new soul. The souls reverted to their beginnings, to a clean state when they were just newborn souls. Their cursed energy becoming massive, but losing any characteristics and negativity. The purest form of cursed energy, colorless and without any feeling, was observed for the first time. Read 6th chapter in advance on com/Indrashish 100. Chapter 12, 10. Tachibana Yosuke observed the purest newborn form of souls, brimming with cursed energy, their combination being almost equal to his own. In their pure newborn state, they also weren't dispersing. Hey, why not seal them in me? Terahashi came close to him, and looked at the transparent balls of cursed energy. She cannot observe souls. In fact, Tachibana can observe them only now that he has a deeper understanding of his curse technique. Otherwise, he should have been able to see the souls of the murderers who used one of them's curse technique to turn themselves invisible. These are not just balls of cursed energy, but souls of those guys in their newborn state. Tachibana said, looking at Terahashi. Terahashi thought for a bit, and steeled her resolve. She almost died just now. She has a great curse technique, but without good enough amount of cursed energy. If she wants to survive this death game, she has to let go of her morals. To gain points, she will have to eventually kill someone, even if it is a cursed spirit. And others will definitely try to kill them. She can't just stay behind Tachibana to be protected. If they are in their souls are in newborn state, doesn't it mean that they are basically dead? With no consciousness or anything. It just clicked Tachibana, that he has effectively erased the self of the group instead of saving them. The rush of reverse curse technique for the first time, has made him high like Gojo Satoru. Still, he couldn't save them without proper bodies. And in his high, he accepted the death of strangers. He nodded in realization. You are right. Though I don't know any method of sealing. You should cosplay as Minato and seal it in yourself. Now that I know how to heal, Minato's flying thunder god will be very helpful in letting us escape. Moreover, with a Jinchuriki seal, her body will slowly get used to the large amount of cursed energy without getting overwhelmed. And once her body adapts to it, she will be able to remove the seal and use the entirety of cursed energy on her own. Not everyone is Yuji or Megumi who cannot get their souls crushed by a powerful soul with a cursed energy. So, they went to the mall for Terahashi to replenish her supply of cosplays, which were destroyed in the domain expansion. While thinking about it, Tachibana remembered the time when he was writing a Mechamaru fanfiction in his past life. Cursed corpse with independent consciousness and self-sustaining cursed energy, like Panda, can be created using 3 compatible souls that observe each other. If Mechamaru had known this method and created an army of self-sustaining Mechamarus, he might have survived against Mahito and Kenjaku. Anyway, these newborn souls are compatible to each other. In fact, they are equal. So technically, everyone is equal in birth and equal in death, considering the reincarnations being different paths. But compatibility aside, without egos, can they really be used for cursed corpse creation? He put 3 souls in his katana. They weren't interacting with each other at all. Reincarnation. After flooding his cursed energy through the katana, which now wielded 3 newborn souls, he used reincarnation. Surprisingly enough, the 3 souls changed shape from sphere to katana. And the 3 started interacting with each other. Wait a second, since when can I see souls? Maybe ever since I understood more about my curse technique. Moreover, he just discovered that reincarnation changes the shape of the soul to that of the vessel. And it seems that body itself has an effect with the shape of the soul. That's why my height and looks are similar to my past life. He had chalked it up to coincidence till now. But it's quite possible that isn't the case. Body affects the soul just as soul affects the body. That's why he was childish and immature as a kid in his second life, despite being a high schooler freshman in his past life. Senpai, there is a problem. Tachibana turned back, and Terahashi was cosplaying as Minato, looking embarrassed. You know, a shadow clone is supposed to be a B-rank jutsu. An 8 trigram seal is an S-rank jutsu. I can't perform the sealing. So why don't you use another weaker seal? That doesn't consume much cursed energy. She thought about it for some time, and shook her head. I can't do that. I can only do things that I know who I am cosplaying as has done, not what they most likely can do. Like I can't create a storage seal, which Minato definitely can. Then how about a binding vow like this, in return of 10 days worth of cursed energy right now, you will not have cursed energy of your own for 10 days next month. That can work. Even if I myself don't have cursed energy for 10 days next month, I can just draw it from these souls. So Terahashi did just that, and became the Jinchuriki of these newborn souls. Thus, the problem of her small amount of cursed energy is solved. Read 7 chapter in advance on com/Indrashish 100 chapter 13, 11. Terahashi is messed up in the head. First POV, after Terahashi's power-up was done, we returned to the hotel. It's already 3 a.m. In the morning, other sorcerers will start hunting each other for points. Senpai, let's remain in the same room. Last time, Sato and his kid got murdered before anyone knew anything. Being in the same room will be safer, and we will be alert to each other as one keep watch while the other sleeps. Shouldn't you hesitate? Don't get the wrong idea. I have a girlfriend. Anyway, you keep watch first, and when you start feeling sleepy, wake me up. When morning comes, everyone will most likely start hunting each other. She seems to be dejected that I assigned first watch duty to her. Anyway, I went to bed and closed my eyes, trying to sleep. As if sleep will come this easily when I am caught in Culling game. When my girlfriend, Miyako-chan, is most likely dead. When the status of even her parents who live in countryside is unknown. So, now that I finally laid down and started resting, I couldn't help but think what to do from now on. Currently, I have 25 points. When I get 100 points, Kashima will come for me. So the best thing to do is to jump others with Terahashi and give her the kill. And as soon as she gets 100 points, add a rule to be able to transfer points between players. This will prevent others from killing each other, and also allow to gain the next 100 points faster since killing other players just leads to 5 points. So by negotiating, we can get their entire points instead of just 5 points. Then I will get a second rule to allow everyone to go in and out of the barriers as they please, except for Suguru Geto and Kenjaku, since I don't know what he is called as a player. That will not only allow the professional sorcerers to move freely and take care of the mess, but also allow me to leave this barrier and try to find out about Miyako-chan. There is little hope, but I wish that she is alive. Hopefully something came up and she couldn't reach Shibuya. Perhaps she wasn't caught up in Sukuna's domain. And if she really died? Why the hell am I worrying about if she died? When I have the curse technique, reincarnation. Even when the first guy who refused to be a player died, and his soul most likely wasn't there, I was able to reincarnate him, though he died again due to the state of his body. Meaning, I can probably summon a soul as long as I have the body. If Miyako really died in Shibuya due to Sukuna's domain expansion, I wouldn't be able to get her body. But is the complete body really required? Will her hair that might be lying around my home, or hers or her parents' be enough? My home is 10 kilometers away from here, so it most likely doesn't come under the colony I am in. Still, we will head in my home's direction tomorrow. Senpai, you awake? Are you sleepy? Should I keep watch? I don't think I will be able to sleep without being super exhausted. Anyway, who are Sukuna and Kenjaku? Why was that guy asking? Forget it. I won't pry. Tell me about your girlfriend. Is she cute? Do you think she is alive? I don't know. Chances are less. But even if she is dead, I will bring her back to life. And don't worry about your family as well. I am here. Tomorrow, other players will definitely attack us. Even humans, even those from past who have hijacked other people's bodies and crushed their souls, like that guy we met. Those guys of past wouldn't have any hesitation in killing other humans. So I will take out their soul, and use those bodies as vessels for our loved ones. How many do you need? She must be worried about her family now that she has time to relax. Can't you restore the crushed souls? But the trauma will still be present. Trauma can be overcome with time. Rather, I am making excuses. Rather, I can't place those who I care about and strangers on the same scale. I can ignore the death of strangers caused by others, because it is required for resurrecting my loved ones if it comes to it. But senpai, instead of bodies of others, can't you just create new bodies? I can't just create new bodies with my technique. Not like that. What if you put souls in an embryo so that they can divide and the people be properly reincarnated, without harming the potential baby? At what outrageous stuff she said, I opened my eyes and looked at her. She was looking very smug over her suggestion. Terahashi. You are messed up in the head. Read 10 chapter in advance on com/Indrashish 100 chapter 14, 12. Yosuke, save me. Miyako-chan spoke as she burned to ashes and I woke up. It was a nightmare. I got up and saw Terahashi playing some game on her phone. You go to sleep. Oh, you are awake. And so she went to sleep, and it was my turn to keep watch. My stomach gurgled, even though it was just 5 a.m. I didn't sleep much, huh? So I got some ramen from the fridge. It's best to consume a lot of calories during this event for more energy. I glanced at Terahashi, who was tossing and turning, most likely having nightmares. I had them too, seeing the corpses all around. I hope this nightmare of culling game that we are trapped into ends soon. Now that I think about it, I could farm points by reincarnating the cursed spirit and killing it again in the mall. But when I reverted the special grade cursed spirit once, I got 5 points, but not more after reverting what was obtained from it further. Kogain, why was that the case? Kogain appeared and told me the reason. They hadn't declared their participation. So did the ones in the mall declare it? I didn't hear it. Speaking is not necessary for declaring participation. Well, most cursed spirits can't speak after all. Anyway, now I have reverse cursed technique, and the curse technique reversal of reincarnation, reversion. Since reincarnation sends souls to their next lives, reversion sends them to their previous lives. The maximum of a reversion is new soul, turning a soul to its first, pure blank state. The maximum of a reincarnation is true death, which reincarnates a soul so many times that it is forced to achieve nirvana and stop existing, achieving true death. So, is it even possible to combine new soul and true death, like Gojo's blue and red combining to form hollow purple? No, before thinking in that direction, can I even use cursed energy and reverse curse technique at the same time? How about converting the cursed energy covering only one part of body, and the rest being cursed energy? I tried it, and I was successful to some degree. Maybe I have the same potential as Gojo Satoru. But the positive energy enveloping my hand was getting cancelled by the negative energy surrounding the rest of my body. So I decided to train my cursed energy control by maintaining my cursed energy for most of my body and reverse cursed technique on my hands, while making sure that the negative and positive don't meet and cancel each other. It was, as expected, very difficult. And I don't think that I can master it in just a few days. The difficulty of even trying this made me realize how absolute monsters Gojo and Sukuna are. And though I seem to have a bottomless amount of cursed energy, I don't think I have anywhere near Sukuna. Read 10 chapter in advance on com/Indrashish 100 chapter 15, 13. Morning outing, November 1, 2018. After having breakfast and packing our stuff for today in backpacks, we left the hotel. Terahashi left a marker for Flying Thunder God in the hotel, and marked me as well, which she can now perform with her growing cursed energy due to the Jinchuriki seal. Though cosplay doesn't give her the physical stats and top-rate cursed energy of Minato, she now has potential to even defeat Gojo Satoru. And Sukuna added to the mix. Given that she learns how to fight, of course. Even without domain expansion, Flying Thunder God is broken beyond measure. It can even teleport out limitless defense of Gojo with the Guiding Thunder which Minato used against Bijudama of Kurama. Gojo glazers who wank him against other verses, Minato no-diffs him. Anyway, our goal today is to gain fighting experience, have Terahashi earn points, and most importantly, find suitable vessels for our loved ones. I need 4. 1 for myself in case I die, 1 for Miyako-chan, and 2 for her parents. Terahashi refused finding a vessel for her loved ones, maybe because she lives a sad life, and doesn't have anything to care about in her life. Just in case, I will find a vessel for her as well. Anyway, I have taken a binding vow to preserve my safety. In case I am not fast enough to activate my curse technique before I am about to die. My curse technique will be engraved in my soul, in exchange of losing my curse technique engraved in my body. This binding vow will be activated upon saying engrave, or just before death. I can't say for sure that my soul will have reincarnation, since a curse technique is supposed to be in brain. That's why engraving my curse technique in my soul is important. But losing my curse technique engraved in my body might lead to death, since I have firsthand seen someone die due to curse technique removal. So it's best to do it only on verge of death. I instinctively know that I can reincarnate myself and exist as a soul, but I don't know if reincarnating in another body will lead to loss of reincarnation. Kenjaku kept another curse technique other than his innate technique and current hosts, the previous hosts. But he is a freak and his curse technique might work differently than mine. Plus, he has experience of 1,000 years or more. So now, if I die and leave my body, I can exist as a soul with my curse technique with me. Moreover, if I am about to be killed, I can use a binding vow to sacrifice my entire body for a lot of cursed energy for my soul, boosting myself immensely before I have to reincarnate in another body. Because I want to kill Kenjaku and Sukuna, I will go that far to gain strength to do it. Anyway, Our first destination is Teruhashi's high school nearby. A school must be brimming with cursed spirits, so it will be a good place for training and getting points for Teruhashi. But as we were on our way, we came across a guy in a hoodie on the footpath. Though he looked young, his actions and expressions reeked of an old man. He give me the girl, and I will not kill you. A pervert. I will have you know, I am not some weak newly awakened sorcerer who is too afraid to kill. I am Hoshikage Tenya, a veteran from WW2 era. Girl, come with me and I will protect you. The worst kind of rapist then, if he is from WW2 era. And despite his nature, his cursed energy is very stable, unlike us. He really is a veteran. Teruhashi gritted her teeth, and brought forth a kitchen knife, marked with Flying Thunder God. Yeah, let's jump him. Read 11 chapter in advance on com/Indrashish 100 use code 7E94D for 25% discount chapter 16, 14. Can't catch a break. Teruhashi had nightmares in the little sleep she got. The scenes of murder constantly repeated in her sleep, and the souls she had sealed in herself for increasing her pathetic amount of cursed energy wasn't entirely good. Memories of those souls, alongside the memories of their past lives, were now leaking into her alongside the cursed energy. Tachibana hadn't considered one drawback of his curse technique. A normal reincarnation leads to loss of memories, with only deep personality traits being passed down. But his curse technique preserves the full memories. With reversion S maximum, new soul, while the souls were restored into their newborn states, their egos reduced to nothing, the memories of all their lives were regained by them. And the panic, fear and negativity in general of the souls just before they were effectively killed lead to big boost in cursed energy, with greater return than a death-binding vow due to experiencing multiple deaths forced upon them. Teruhashi obviously didn't understand anything aside the fact that the memories of the people whose souls are now sealed in her are leaking into her. Memories of life as single-cell organism, dinosaur, tree, monkey, prehistoric humans, king, slave, farmer, war casualty, etc. were slowly becoming hers as the cursed energy from the seal leaked into her. She didn't plan on telling Tachibana about this and uselessly worry him, at least until things have calmed down a bit, and she has increased her cursed energy reserves to an acceptable level. Tachibana stared at the opponent in front of them cautiously. Though the WW2 veteran has way less cursed energy than them, he seems very experienced. And who knows what his curse technique is? Hoshikage grinned at these newbies, especially at the pretty girl who is wearing strange clothes, cosplay of Minato according to the memories of his vessel. Teruhashi threw knives at him one after another, and Hoshikage simply dodged them. He mocked her and used his curse technique, gun. Gun allows him to manifest any form of gun, enhanced with cursed energy, and with endless bullets as long as he has cursed energy. During WW2, he massacred many villages across Asia for fun without having to worry about wasting bullets. And now that he has memories of the vessel, he has learnt about advanced weapons. So he manifested a machine gun to get rid of the guy. Just as he aimed his gun at the guy, the girl disappeared from his sight. And the next moment he knew, his head got sliced off cleanly from behind. Using the Flying Thunder God mark on a knife behind him, she teleported behind him, and sliced his head off cleanly. 5 points acquired. Teruhashi received her first 5 points. She herself was surprised by how swift she had been. But as the adrenaline started dying down, she stared at the blood that stained her clothes. Ugh, hi. Are you all right? She started puking at the scene as Tachibana rushed to her. The effects of her cursed technique, cosplay, turned off, due to her cosplay being ruined by blood. While incredibly powerful, it seems that just getting her cosplay ruined deactivates the technique. And as her curse technique no longer recognized her Minato cosplay, the 8 trigrams seal lost its effect. Instead of the cursed energy seeping into her body slowly so that it gets used to it, and keeping the soul separate from her being, without the seal, everything came crashing into her all at once. She lost consciousness and collapsed, and then, Tachibana sensed someone powerful approaching. What is her cursed technique? How did she suddenly appear behind him? An incarnated sorcerer came out of the shadows of a tree. Judging by his formal speech despite having the cursed technique related to shadows, it's most likely that he is an incarnated sorcerer. Tachibana's guess was absolutely correct. I guess modern sorcerers aren't so bad, huh? You almost have as much cursed energy as that Michizane when he was human. Stop worrying about that woman, and entertain me for a bit. The sorcerer in front of him was Taira Takamochi, the ancestor of the Zenin clan. Read 11 chapter in advance on com/Indrashish 100 use code 7E94D for 25% discount. Chapter 17, Announcement. So, I wasted my time in watching the 4 episodes of Classroom of the Elite S for release today, and I also got into mood of writing a coat fanfiction. So no chapter of this FIC today. Anyway, I have started writing a FIC from the second year arc, where the MC is a first-year White Room student tasked to expel Ayano-koji. Just here to ask you to check it out. Coat, reincarnated into White Room. After dying, instead of reincarnating into a colorful ice-sky world with cheats, I reincarnate into the bland, white room. Now, tasked with the mission to expel Ayano-koji Kiyotaka by enrolling in ANHS a year after him, I can finally start making plans to take down White Room. But for achieving that, the most important thing is to defeat Ayano-koji Kiyotaka. Chapter 18, 15. Taira Takamochi was a prominent member of the Taira clan, an influential clan of Heian era. Incidentally, he is the ancestor of the Zenin clan. Because of that, even though he doesn't know what teleportation is and how Terahashi appeared behind the sorcerer and killed him, he didn't really care about her. Despite cursed energy surging in her, she has collapsed. So the ancestor of misogyny ignored her and focused on the guy with insane cursed energy in front of him. What's your name? Sato Sasuke. Tachibana lied with a straight face. Though the opponent has a shadow-related technique, and might as well be a 10 shadows user of the past, he can't be certain that someone with a cursed technique to curse someone by knowing his name exists. Taira nodded and got ready for the duel. He had foolishly challenged Sukuna in the past, and ended up using his suicide attack as a trump card. He still lost, and if not for Kenjaku, he wouldn't have been revived in the new era. That's why he is choosing his opponent more cautiously. A new era sorcerer with only around half cursed energy as Sukuna is a perfect opponent to restore his pride. Taira Takamochi, the ancestor of Zenin clan, has the curse technique 5 shadows, the predecessor of 10 shadows. Divine Wolf. Gamachi. What are you waiting for, young sorcerer? Let's begin the duel. Read 12 chapter in advance on com/Indrashish 100 use code 7E94D for 25% discount until April 5 chapter 19, 15. First POV, looking at the incarnated sorcerer with the Shikigamis, and him having arrived from the shadows, I realized that this guy must be an ancestor of Zenin clan, and it's an ancient version of 10 shadows. That means he most likely has a trump card like Maharaga. Didn't Sukuna say something about the ability to adapt to any and all phenomenon of Maharaga being similar to something else? In any case, this guy is weaker than Kashimo, since Kashimo was the only significant character that faced the Gamble guy, as far as I remember. So I need to kill him before he tries to pull out ancient Maharaga. Otherwise, I will be screwed. Moreover, Terahashi is in a weird condition behind me, and can't teleport us away. He has taken out 4 Shikigamis to jump me. Divine Wolf, a big wolf. Gamachi, a big toad. Katsuyu, a big slug, which seems to be emitting reverse curse technique. Garuda, a big eagle. Toad and slug, where is the snake? Do you also have a snake Shikigami? You guessed my trump card. Don't worry, I don't think you are experienced enough to force me to bring it out yet. So his trump card must be Maharaga's ancestor. After all, Maharaga is supposed to be a reptile, and a snake is a reptile. I let cursed energy cover my body in full power, and moved at the guy, aiming for the slug which is emitting reverse cursed technique first. When taking on an opponent party, take out the healer first. Divine Wolf lunged at me, but due to my huge cursed energy enforcement, I was faster and managed to dodge it by a slim margin, and touched it. Reincarnation. The big Divine Wolf split into two dogs, one white and other black. But they still attacked me. What's this technique? Splitting my wolf into two. I still ran towards Katsuyu, but strangely enough, the two dogs attacked the eagle, and killed it by shredding its neck with their claws and teeth. I guess reincarnating them also removed their tame status, and are now attacking anyone in sight. So seeing this as a chance, I ran into an alleyway. I am not abandoning Terahashi. It's to prevent the Zenin clan ancestor from thinking that I will try to save her, and take her a hostage. He doesn't seem to have any interest in her, so drawing him away into this narrow alley where Gamachi and Katsuyu won't fit is the best course of action. I looked back and Katsuyu melted the two dogs with acid attack. Acid attack. Water jet. Is this guy a Pokemon master? Using combo moves like that. I converted my entire cursed energy into reverse cursed energy, disrupting their attacks before they could touch me. But I am now surrounded by acidic water, well, that's just diluted acid. But the quantity is dangerous enough. I used the reverse curse technique surrounding me to float on the acid and run towards the Shikigamis. So you can use reverse cursed technique to such a degree, huh? So you are a prodigy. Then, I will take you seriously. My technique is of 5 shadows, I don't want to hear it. I cut the tongue of Gamachi coming at me with my katana, and wondered if I can channel reincarnation through it instead of just my hands. Surprisingly enough, I can. I need to finish this as soon as possible. Read 12 chapters in advance on com/Indrashish 100 use code 7E94D for 25% discount until April 5, chapter 2016. I need to finish this as soon as possible. The fastest way is to cut off the connection between the incarnated sorcerer and his vessel. I can feel a vague boundary between their souls, but it's not really clear. And doing that will require experimentation to save the vessel, which I am not willing to risk in case he brings out Maharaga's ancestor. Using reincarnation on him will most likely just make him fit perfectly in the vessel and completely become the person. Meaning, strengthening him at the cost of his soul weakening a bit. Now that I am in reverse state, one reversion should turn him into the cursed object that Kenjaku turned him into, and was incarnated for the culling game. But I don't know if the target will be the sorcerer or his vessel. For a surefire victory, I have to use the curse technique reversal, maximum, new soul. I shouldn't conserve strength for the rest of the day. Killing him before he pulls out Maharaga's ancestor is far more important. I looked at him, and he was terrified for some reason. Why your reverse cursed energy? Why is it so terrifying? I had forgotten about taking an important binding vow, which I only got reminded after he tried to explain his curse technique to me. So I took the binding vow. Revealing anything about my powers will lead to increase in the said power accordingly. It's my cursed energy trait. Since my cursed energy has a calming effect, the reversal has a disturbing effect. As I said that, the man in front of me started shivering more. Meaning, the binding vow has taken effect. I ran towards him, jumping over Katsuyu to finish off this terrified fraud. And it seems like he actively needs to command his Shikigamis, so they just stood by and didn't do anything. And just as my katana was about to reach him, I felt shivers and backed off. No fucking way. You fucking fraud. Fight me yourself. But it was useless. I started running away in terror as I have realized just what this fraud did. No hand signs. No chance. No emerging from shadows. While summoning his trump card, he has offered himself completely to it. I have to get away from the ritual's range before I get dragged in it. Fuck you Zenins. And fuck your fraud ancestor. After Tachibana Yosuke had converted his entire supply of cursed energy into reverse curse technique, the calm of the enormous energy surrounding his body transformed into disturbance, terror, and fear of something worse than death. So you can use reverse cursed technique to such a degree, huh? So you are a prodigy. Then, I will take you seriously. My technique is of 5 shadows. Tara Takamochi tried to keep his calm and strengthen his technique. No matter how terrified he was, he rationalized that he was still facing a newly awakened sorcerer with experience of less than a day. But when Tachibana's eyes became focused and killing intent crashed on him, Tara let go of any rationality. It was like he was facing Sukuna once again, when he had foolishly challenged him. Only this time, he wasn't being looked at like an ant for passing time, but actually with the full seriousness of killing. And so, the fraud he is, he immediately used his trump card. I offer you my everything. Just kill this monster, Yamada no Orochi. With the death-binding vow in effect, and instead of using shadows for a medium for summon, using himself as a medium, a boosted Yamada no Orochi entered the world for the first time since Heian era. And far more stronger than when it fought the king of curses, Sukuna. Tara's body turned white and got taken over Yamada no Orochi, growing to 30 feet tall, and 120 meters in length. With 8 heads and 8 tails, its heads roared in joy for being unleashed upon this world. Anyone in the 200 meters radius of it is its current target. And due to the summoner itself being its medium, even after destroying everything within this range will not make it disappear. Its first target, the one with the most energy in the surrounding, is unfortunately Tachibana Yosuke. Read 13 chapters in advance on com/Indrashish 100 use code 7E94D for 25% discount until April 5 chapter 21, 17. Tokyo Colony No. As he cursed, he was sent flying several kms away by a simple swat of a tail of Yamada no Orochi, stopping only when he hit the colony's barrier. Tachibana almost blacked out by the pain. He vomited everything he had eaten. Several bones were broken, his insides were disturbed, blood vessels popped due to pressure, and even though RCT flooding his body healed everything, the pain was just too much. Not too far from Yamada no Orochi, Terahashi has died due to a building slab falling on her due to its destruction. And since she wasn't killed by cursed energy, she has started transforming into a vengeful cursed spirit. Thankfully for her, Yamada no Orochi operates on the principle of focusing one opponent at a time. So right now, it is only focused on Tachibana, and if someone else attacked it, then only will the target change. Jacob's Ladder. Hannah, the vessel of Angel, used the maximum of Angel's curse technique extinguishment. Fall back. Angel shouted, but it was too late. While 4 heads of Yamada no Orochi were hit by Jacob's Ladder, the target was simply too big. Another head of Yamada no Orochi extended into the sky and ate Hannah. In another universe, Kashimo would have killed Tara Takamochi easily before he could unleash Yamada no Orochi. Hannah, Angel, would have moved from Tokyo Colony No. 2 to Tokyo Colony No. 1 by using technique extinguishment, and found an injured Fushiguro Megumi. But in this timeline, due to terror, Tara Takamochi unleashed Yamada no Orochi by powering it up, and giving himself to it in the worst way possible. The key to free Gojo Satoru from the prison realm has been killed and eaten by Yamada no Orochi. 5 points acquired. Yamada no Orochi's participation in the Culling game has been recognized upon being unleashed, and it has gained 5 points. But Hannah's sacrifice wasn't useless. With 4 of its heads gone, it only has 4 heads left. As Maharaga's ancestor, it works differently. First, unlike Maharaga, which has no limit on how many phenomena to adapt, Yamada no Orochi can only adapt to 8 phenomena at a time using its 8 heads. But now it can only adapt to 4 phenomena at a time. Second, it cannot regenerate its heads, even though it can use positive energy. It's like a built-in binding vow. Third, its adaptation is significantly slower than Maharaga. But this weakness was taken care of by its summoner sacrificing himself to serve at its medium. Still, it is superior than Maharaga in its current state because of its size, raw power, durability, and the fact that it cannot be one-shot unless the attack has a radius of 120 m due to its sheer size. Yamada no Orochi chose a new target, the largest cursed energy nearby it, the vengeful cursed spirit Terahashi. With the Jinchuriki seal ineffective after getting blood on her cosplay, the souls in her body flooded in her being all at once. Since they have no ego, they latched onto her soul. While they have no ego, they still possess the memories of all their lives, and they only became source of knowledge and cursed energy for her. Her body, which was made for low cursed energy, couldn't handle the sudden influx, but after dying, she has been liberated from her body. Terahashi opened her eyes, finding herself as a cursed spirit with her own look, but 12 spheres of the new souls attached to the end of her hair. Her mind was cloudy, she couldn't think properly, but as Yamada no Orochi attacked her, she instinctively teleported back to the hotel room with Flying Thunder God, getting out of Yamada no Orochi's range. So now, Yamada no Orochi started rampaging aimlessly, destroying everything around it, killing everyone who came in its effective range of 200 m. It has firmly established itself as the boss of Tokyo Colony No. 1. And Kashimo has come to take its heads. Read 15 chapters in advance on com/Indrashish 100 use code 7E94D for 25% discount until April 5, chapter 22, 18. 1098 words. It isn't a cursed spirit, but a Shikigami which can even use RCT. Though rest of its body regenerated, its 4 heads haven't. So, I just need to take care of the remaining heads. Kashimo grinned as he jumped into the battlefield. Yamada no Orochi screamed as one of its tail tore apart to bring out the Kusanagi sword, charged with positive energy. It extended to kill Kashimo, but he dodged and started running over its body while paralyzing it with his cursed energy trait. If I get hit even once, I am dead. While thinking this excitedly, he reached one of its head, and attached the positive charge on it. And as he moved to the next head, he discharged the negative charges, all being attracted to the positive charge on one of the heads. As a result, the 5th head of Yamada no Orochi was destroyed. 3 more to go. Sadly for him, he didn't know that Yamada no Orochi's ability is to adapt to any and all phenomena. Ever since his cursed energy with the electric trait came in contact with it, the adaptation has already started. For adaptation to start, the phenomenon needs to interact with Yamada no Orochi only once. And as the number of interactions increases, the speed of the adaptation increases as well. And the number of his electricity interacting with Yamada no Orochi is continuous without any break in between. Kashimo has been using it to keep it paralyzed so that he doesn't get hit by its raw power. He has seen Tachibana getting sent flying with a simple swat of its tail. So getting hit will be game over. So just as he reached the 6th head, something changed. Kashimo jumped away from Yamada no Orochi, which has broken off from paralysis, and just tried to bite him. If paralysis was working at first, why did it suddenly stop working? It's starting to adapt. The longer it is in contact with my electricity, the less effective it will become. I must finish this as soon as possible. Kashimo sensed crisis, and started running away to gain distance, and build up charge once more while Yamada no Orochi started chasing him. Tachibana on a bike came and asked him, "Want a lift?" "That thing can adapt to anything, it seems that it has already adapted a bit to your electric trait, Kashimo. We need to finish it off before it becomes a problem, stay out of my fight." So Tachibana kicked Kashimo off the bike he has stolen. Tachibana has assumed that he has been dragged in the subjugation ritual of Yamada no Orochi. So he had considered killing himself once to make it disappear. But he saw Angel hit it with whatever her cursed technique was, and got eaten. Unlike Maharaga, it is a snake who likes to eat things, and not leave behind corpses. And then Kashimo appeared and took out the 5th head. Meaning, the best way to free Gojo Satoru is gone. That's why he now has another plan. Even if it doesn't work, there is still the option of feeding a part of Megumi to Rika, and Yuta will tame the Maharaga from the tamed 10 shadows, thus freeing Gojo Satoru from the prison realm. After getting hurt so badly, his memories of his past life is a little more clear. That's why that method has a concern. What if Yuta's curse technique resets after the time limit, and him having to tame Maharaga every time? So taming Maharaga, and then it adapting to the back of prison realm in the limited amount of time, can be a point of failure. That's why he has decided to do the unthinkable. He watched as Kashimo destroyed the sixth head of Yamata no Orochi, and now only 2 heads were remaining. But by now, Kashimo probably can't destroy the other heads. Terahashi appeared by his side using Flying Thunder God, and she was very different from what he remembered. First, she is now a cursed spirit. But thanks to the binding vow between them, they can't harm each other. Hee. I am strong now, Tachibana-senpai. Look, I can now change my cosplay with a snap of fingers. Now I will kill everyone who comes after us. She snapped her fingers, and her form shifted from Minato to Naruto. I have created a monster. Yamata no Orochi wasn't summoned in the original timeline as well. So I have unleashed 2 monsters upon the world. And it doesn't seem like she will like it very much if I try to use reversion on her to bring her back to her original state. At the very least, I should find her a body so that she will be like Choso. Can you transform into Sasuke and put that monster and Kashimo under Genjutsu? That's an easy task. She looked at Kashimo, who was about to get eaten, and Yamata no Orochi, who was about to eat Kashimo, and used the Rinnegan. September 10th th of her total cursed energy got used up in a second. But that was enough for Tachibana. He touched Yamata no Orochi, and pulled his pro-gamer move. Engrave, reincarnation. His body went limp, and he reincarnated as Yamata no Orochi, while reincarnating Yamata no Orochi into his body, which has become brain-dead due to curse technique being removed from the body, and being engraved in Tachibana's soul. He opened his eyes in the 2 heads of Yamata no Orochi, and grabbed Kashimo by his tail. Kashimo struggled, but he couldn't do anything. Yamata no Orochi has already adapted to electricity. So now his death is certain. You took over this body. You are so big now, wouldn't that destroy your girlfriend? I can adapt to become like a human. Anyway, Kashimo, if you want to fight with Sukuna, form a binding vow that you wouldn't try to harm me or Terahashi. Tachibana successfully prevented Kashimo from committing suicide by using his curse technique, and that's when Tachibana used another pro-gamer move. Reincarnation. 5 points obtained. He reincarnated Kashimo in the Kusanagi sword in his tail, and Kashimo's body was now empty. It seems that Kashimo got reincarnated into my new fancy sword along with the soul of his vessel. Terahashi, as a cursed spirit, you can be one-shot by reverse cursed technique. I will reincarnate you into this body. But it's a guy. Can't you find me a better vessel? How about your previous body? I have created a monster. Read 15 chapters in advance on com/Indrashish 100 use code 7E94D for 25% discount until April 5th. Goal this week, 500 Power Stones Chapter 23, 19. 1108 words, first POV, but it's a guy. Can't you find me a better vessel? How about your previous body? Becoming a cursed spirit has really made her messed up. I have already realized that she might have gotten a crush on me due to suspension bridge effect, but becoming a cursed spirit has turned it into something dangerous. Still, reincarnating her into a body will mean that she will not be able to heal with cursed energy alone. If she remains a cursed spirit and gets good at using Flying Thunder God alone, she will become unkillable. And I guess she will not become a pure evil person like Choso after obtaining a body and people around her to guide her. So I can put off using reversion on her to turn her back into a human, which will bring back the drawback of not having the ability of transforming into other cosplay characters, and just a bit of blood breaking the effects of cosplay. Well, I am not sure if getting a bit of blood or something to ruin her cosplay will still cancel her cursed technique or not. In any case, my original body is brain dead. For now, make use of this body. Moreover, isn't electric cursed energy cool? You will have an easier time using Chidori. I will transform this body to your original look then, alright. Then it's fine. Just protect me for now until I am able to transform into my original self. But I don't really have much cursed energy left. I take a binding vow that I will not have cursed energy for a day 1 year later, so that I get that day's cursed energy today. She became full of cursed energy again, and started keeping watch against danger. Meanwhile, I started adapting to change the shape of my soul and body to transform from this giant Yamato no Orochi to like a human, and look back like myself. Having two heads is weird. Though since I am adapting from nothing, and I only have two heads of the 8 from the original Yamato no Orochi, it will take a long time. Kogain, how many points do I have? 50 points. What's my name? Yamato no Orochi. So I am being recognized by my body. How did Yamato no Orochi get so many points already? As far as I know, only Angel and Kashimo were defeated, right? Maybe players died in the rubble. Terahashi, what about your body? If the state isn't too bad, I can probably heal it, and you can inhabit it. My body was too weak. I want a new body. Still, I cleared the rubble with my tails, which is really weird to use, and found only Terahashi's body. I guess the rest of players were cursed spirits, otherwise the other players would have also become cursed spirits. The original group is down to only me and Terahashi. And since she is in this state, I guess only 11 halves people have survived. You know, since Terahashi died once already, I will count her as half. I even had to reincarnate into another body. I could only sigh for now about this cruel game Kenjaku started just for satisfying his curiosity. But now that I have obtained this body, killing him will be easier. I adapted enough to create a hand from one of my tail, so I took out my phone from my original body, but it was destroyed. I couldn't move from my place to not cause any more infrastructure damage, and Terahashi couldn't move because she is protecting me. Not that there is any danger, since the strongest player of this colony, Kashimo, is already dead. I just want to keep her focused on protecting me so that she doesn't go to kill others. I still don't understand what will be the extent of her unhingedness as a cursed spirit. So for the rest of the day, nothing really happened. I adapted and analyzed my cursed technique, reincarnation, which automatically changes the shape of the soul to that of the new vessel. That's why Kashimo, who is now my Kusanagi sword, isn't being responsive since he no longer has a brain. Anyway, adapting to change the shape of my soul, and thus body, took me an entire day. I guess my adaptation is not as fast as Maharaga, after losing 6 of the 8 heads. In any case, I transformed to look like my original body, with the Kusanagi sword being able to come out of a hole in my hand. Then I touched Kashimo's body, and transformed it into like Terahashi. Make my boobs bigger. I sighed and did that. Since a cursed spirit is, as the name implies, a spirit, reincarnating her into her vessel meant that she fully transferred into it, without leaving behind a body in which her cursed technique is engraved. Black markings spread over her body as she reincarnated in it, and she opened her eyes. This body is amazing. I shrugged and looked at her original body. Since her soul is already here, would using reincarnation on it actually do something? I tested it but nothing happened. I guess the souls who already are in the world of living can't really be summoned. I still healed her original body and changed its shape, to use as a vessel for Miyako or others later. And I destroyed my own body, since looking at my own dead body is rather creepy. And it's useless anyway due to being brain dead. I can fix the brain, but it's creepy, and I don't want to do it. I handed Terahashi's body to her, and said, "This empty body will not rot now and doesn't require food to sustain itself, just like ours. You don't mind if I use this body as a vessel for my girlfriend, right? Or you can use it for your family members. I don't mind. I have a better body, created by Tachibana-senpai after all. You know, I was feeling like I was losing my mind as a cursed spirit, but after obtaining this body, I feel rather calm, like a human again. It's because I fine-tuned the brain so that she doesn't go crazy. She is no longer a danger, I think. How many points do you have?" I asked her, and her Kogain appeared. "Kogain, how many points do I have?" "Then let's start hunting for points quickly. Miyako, it wouldn't be long before I reincarnate you." Read 16 chapters in advance on com/Indrashish 100 gold this week. 500 Power Stones Chapter 24, 20. 5 points acquired. We went near the docks and have killed 3 cursed spirits so far, all by Terahashi. Since receiving Kashimo's body, she also got his 85 points. Instead of having to use real clothes and stuff for cosplay, she can just use cursed energy for it now. Like Choso can use cursed energy for creating blood. So she has become very powerful. Though the abilities she uses still cost significant cursed energy. A genjutsu of Sasuke drained her almost entirely yesterday, and it took hours for her to recover her curse technique. Still, this means that her cursed energy output is actually really good. I don't think I can exhaust 90% of my cursed energy in one attack unless I use a binding vow. Maybe it had something to do with her being a cursed spirit at that time. Anyway, she has gotten 100 points now. Add a rule that allows players to freely transfer any number of points to each other. She nodded and told it to her Kogain. A new rule has been added. Now players can transfer any number of points to each other. Now the unnecessary killing should be reduced to the minimum. Moreover, acquiring large amounts of points is easier now. Instead of getting just 5 points on killing a player, we can get their entire points. Now we just need 50 more points, huh? Then we will be able to freely move in and out of the colonies. Speaking of which, we have stored Terahashi's original body in a refrigerator in the hotel, even though it wouldn't rot. For the bodies, we need something convenient which we can move around. How did Yuta get Rika anyway? I looked at a truck nearby, and placed my hand on it. Then, I started pouring cursed energy in it. I curse you. Nothing happened. Be my Shikigami. Still nothing happened. With the curse technique, reincarnation, wouldn't it be aesthetically fitting to have a truck-kun Shikigami? If I don't know it, I can just adapt to it. I started the adaptation on how to create a Shikigami, while 3 dock workers approached us. Hand over all your points. I took out my Kusanagi sword from my hand and said, if you lose, you guys hand over your points, alright. That's fine by us. As soon as they said it, I rushed to them. If I was still a human in my average physical body, I would have been outclassed physically by dock workers and overpowered them by wasting more cursed energy for reinforcement. But now, I am now in Yamato no Orochi's body, compressed into the size of a human. So my raw physical power is already incredibly high, on par with my previous stats with cursed energy reinforcement. And with a little reinforcement, I speed blitz them and cut off their arms. Spare me. Don't worry. I can heal you. So, your points. Just leave 1 point for yourselves. After all, I need to get good at RCT. And the more I use it on others, the faster I am adapting to make it perfect. 4 points received. 9 points received. 9 points received. I received a total of 22 points from them. 28 points to go. After reattaching their arms, we went to where more cursed spirits are. Under the ocean water. Domain expand, a most likely special grade cursed spirit emerged, trying to use domain expansion on sight, but I didn't have time for it right now. I stabbed it with Kusanagi sword, covered in positive energy, killing it in 1 blow. 5 points acquired. With RCT, cursed spirits really aren't worth much. Especially Kusanagi sword, which is very effective, and can kill even a special grade cursed spirit in 1 blow. Good thing I didn't stay a cursed spirit. Seeing a special grade getting 1 shot, Terahashi muttered. I looked over the ocean water that is also in the colony. I can feel that there are a large number of cursed spirits, but they are very deep. Guess many people fear water, ocean and tsunami in Japan, which is self-explanatory because, well, it's Japan. I flared my cursed energy, and the calmness that came with it attracted many to the surface. I killed them all. 5 points acquired. 5 points acquired. 5 points acquired. I acquired a total of 45 points in 1 sweep. My total points became 117. Kogain, add a rule that all players except Geto Suguru and Kenjaku can go in and out of any barriers. New rule added. All players except Geto Suguru and Kenjaku can go in and out of any barriers. With that, I am finally one step closer to meeting Miyako-chan again. Read 17 chapters in advance on com/Indrashish 100. Goal this week, 500 Power Stones Chapter 25, 21. A new rule has been added. Now players can transfer any number of points to each other. Hearing this new rule, the Jujutsu sorcerers and newly awakened Culling game players sighed in relief. This means that people don't have to kill to obtain points. Itadori Yuji muttered as Kogain suddenly appeared by his side and announced the new rule. Currently, he is somewhere in Tokyo with Choso, exorcising cursed spirits together while avoiding others. Yuji, till when will you avoid others? Choso, I killed people. So many people. That wasn't you. It was Sukuna. I, on the other hand, killed people on my own. Because I thought that living as a curse will be easier for me and my brothers. I killed your brothers. It's fine. It was a misunderstanding. If they were in my place, they would have said the same. Still, I can't stay with everyone. I am sure Sukuna is planning to do something with Fushiguro. New rule added. All players except Geto Suguru and Kenjaku can go in and out of any barriers. Kogain announced another news soon after. Except Geto Suguru and Kenjaku. I understand Geto, but who is Kenjaku? Choso shook his head in worry. At the very least, whoever added the rule considers Norithoshi Kamo an enemy. But with this rule, sorcerers and cursed spirits from all the colonies will be able to go out as they please and cause more chaos all over the country. Yuji, this is going to be bad. Ijichi informed everyone of the first new rule added announced by Tsumiki's Kogain. Everyone sighed in relief. This means that players don't necessarily have to kill each other now. New rule added. All players except Geto Suguru and Kenjaku can go in and out of any barriers. As soon as Tsumiki heard the second new rule, she wanted to flee to her homeland Aizu, which is now Sendai. But she has to wait for Sukuna to appear first. Ijichi, who is staying by her side, informed everyone of the second new rule, and everyone frowned. Isn't Geto the game master of the Culling game? Then how can he be restricted? Yuta was confused about this. Yuki thought about it and then said, he wouldn't be able to conduct such a huge operation normally. He doesn't have that much cursed energy. So he must have taken some binding vows to make it possible. It's either that there is no game master, or it is someone else. Yuta, Megumi, Panda, we are going to meet Tengen. She has an inkling that Tengen might be related to this somehow. Kenjaku chuckled as he heard the new rules. I guess a sorcerer of this era, and from a previous era has teamed up, or Tengen has outed my identity. Yuram asked him, so, what do you plan to do now? Well, my plan to gather immense amounts of curse energy is put in jeopardy if the players just exit the colonies. Given that network doesn't reach in colonies, most newly awakened sorcerers will probably prefer being out of the colonies. He shrugged. Yuram, let's go abroad to gather sources of cursed energy. It was a backup plan just to fill up a few colonies, but with this rule being added so early, I guess I need to go all in on this plan. Kenjaku was still carefree though. He was also interested in how the world's militaries perform against Jujutsu sorcerers, now that Gojo Satoru is out of the picture, and he wouldn't just stomp the world. He wondered how many countries can he convince into invading Japan. Read 17 chapters in advance on com/Indrashish 100. Goal this week, 500 Power Stones reward, 1 bonus chapter 26, 22. The number you have dialed is currently unavailable. After getting out of the colony, we stole 2 phones from a store, since our phones got destroyed. Thankfully, internet seems to be working just fine outside the colony. Thankfully, the SIM card from my destroyed phone was still working, and I remembered my Google account's password. After setting up my phone, I called Miyako-chan. But her number was showing unavailable. And I don't have her parents' numbers. My SIM card is destroyed, and I don't remember the password of my account. Teruhashi was worse off. She didn't have any way to contact her family. Let's search our homes first. I wonder if they are still alive. Saying that, we got into the truck that I stole from the shipping yard. I still need to experiment on whether a little of DNA is enough to summon someone's soul to reincarnate them. When I adapt to the method of turning it into a shikigami, I will use it to store bodies, souls and cursed energy, kind of like how Rika stores cursed energy and curse techniques for Yuta. I transformed my body to have one head of Yamata no Orochi, and the Kusanagi sword with its tails to be out of the window, clearing out the path filled with cursed spirits. The situation outside the colonies isn't good either. There are cursed spirits everywhere, and since they aren't players, I wouldn't get points for killing them. Still, I will kill as much as I can along the path. Soon, we reached my home. A 1 BHK apartment. I don't really need a big house before marriage. Thankfully, it was undamaged. I thought that your room will be shabby, senpai. Well, I have a maid who comes once a week. I am not really the type to clean my home myself. I started searching my home, and found a bunch of Miyako-chan's hair easily. Teruhashi, can you bring the body? I will bring it in a flash. She cosplayed as Minato using cursed energy, and used Flying Thunder God to go to the hotel, and retrieve her original body from the freezer. She has around March 4th th of my cursed energy now, after the newborn souls merged with her, and she died and became a cursed spirit. Different abilities cost different amounts of cursed energy. Flying Thunder God doesn't cost much, but things like Sasuke's genjutsu almost drains her entirely. And since I will reincarnate Miyako-chan in Teruhashi's original body, she will also be able to use her cursed technique cosplay, though at the human potential, and with an unknown amount of cursed energy. I don't plan to collect newborn souls and merge them with her to increase her cursed energy, because their memories will also merge. In a few seconds, Teruhashi teleported back with her original body in her arms and laid it on the bed. I touched the body's head and started changing it to look like Miyako-chan, along with certain physical enhancements, like increased muscle cross-sectional area, bone density, etc. to be more like my own Yamata no Orochi body. Her vessel was prepared. Next, I took a binding vow. By using the chant Save a Cat, Get Hit by Truck-kun, I will be able to use 120% of my technique's potential. Save a cat, get hit by Truck-kun. Reincarnation. I used reincarnation on Miyako-chan's hair, and a soul appeared in it. It's a success. Then, I placed the other hand on the vessel. Reincarnation. Miyako-chan's soul reincarnated in her new vessel. And as the process finished, she opened her eyes, looking directly at me. Why, you are Miyako-chan, right? My voice trembled as I caressed her cheek, tears falling down. She didn't say anything and continued to stare. Her gaze unfocused. I am burning. And then, she started screaming. Calm down. It's all right. I am here. I hugged her, trying to calm her down, but she didn't stop screaming. She wasn't able to register my voice. She could only feel burning to death. I even kissed her to calm her down, but nothing was working. She has experienced her own horrifying death. Being caught in Sukuna's domain and burning to death. Aya. I am burning. I am right here. Don't worry. You aren't burning. It was all just a bad dream. I am here. Aya why? No matter how much I tried, she couldn't hear my voice. She couldn't see me. She couldn't register me. Is still stuck in the fire. Read 17 chapters in advance on com/Indrashish 100 gold this week, 500 Power Stones reward, 1 bonus chapter. Chapter 27, 23. The night of Shibuya, a few days earlier, October 31st, why is there no signal? On the night of Halloween, Yamakawa Miyako was waiting near Shibuya Station, having arrived early for her date in her cosplay of She-Venom. The goal was to do some shopping and buy some cosplay for Tachibana Yosuke, who doesn't seem to have much interest in it, and was fine just going along with what she liked. After all, he has already seen most of the animes and movies that are in this world in his past life. So media entertainment didn't interest him much. Sometimes, he would even accidentally spoil the story for Miyako, and that is the one thing she hates about him. There is an invisible wall here. Her ears perked up as she heard the noise. When she went closer, she saw several confused people trying to push against some invisible wall. I want to leave. She looked around, searching for cameras. Who is the stupid content creator who can rope in so many people to act stupid? Please hire her as well. She wouldn't mind making some quick money. She only found some people recording on their phones but no professional cameras. She shrugged and went inside the crowd curiously. And then she touched it. There really was an invisible wall. How is this possible? She banged the invisible wall, but it didn't budge even a little. Everyone, clear the way. We are going to ram a car. With the shout, everyone cleared the way, fear creeping in their hearts. Putting an invisible wall after so many people have entered, no human can do this. It was clearly something supernatural. Is our world actually in an anime? Miyako started sweating. If their world is actually in a supernatural anime, then she is most likely just a civilian NPC with no relevance whatever. She took deep breaths to try to calm herself down. The protagonist will come, take down the bad guy who trapped us here, and save the day. A truck honked, and as the way was cleared, it accelerated along the path, and rammed into the wall. Yet, there was not even a distortion in the invisible wall. Only, the truck's front got crushed and airbags opened. Is it some form of magic? Miyako ignored the crowd and went back to stand in front of the shop where they had agreed to meet. If Yosuke is here, he will come to find her. She hoped that he isn't here and is safe. But she also hoped for him to be here with her. As time went on, the fear became more apparent. And then, news spread in the crowd. Terrorists known as curse users have taken Shibuya as hostage. And they are demanding someone named Gojo Satoru to come to the station. Who is Gojo Satoru? Where is he? Where are you? I want to go home. As the crowd got more and more scared, her heart also began beating faster in fear. Magical terrorists have taken them as hostage. Why the hell is she a civilian NPC in such a dangerous setting? She swore that when she gets out from here, she will investigate these bastards, learn magic that actually exists and isn't fiction, and kill them. More time passed and then a shout came. The invisible wall is not here anymore. As soon as the shout was heard, the crowd went out of control to run away. Miyako also started running, but someone behind her pushed her, making her fall. And then, she couldn't get up. The stampede ran over her. As she tried to crawl away to the side under everyone's steps, a foot hit her directly on the head. Like Randy Orton's other finisher. She lost consciousness and couldn't escape Shibuya. The crowd ran over her, leaving her with severe injuries and her head bleeding. Some jujutsu sorcerers arrived to evacuate people, but upon seeing the number of people run over, they assumed that they were dead. And having heard that Gojo Satoru has been sealed, they didn't have the time to check who is alive and try to save them. They have to save themselves. And then a few minutes later, Sukuna and Maharaga started fighting. With one of Sukuna's slashes, a building fell on Miyako, but only her legs were caught in it. The immense pain woke her awake. Aya why? She screamed as she looked at the destruction behind her. Buildings were falling as if cut easily like butter. A plane was crashing. A train was in the air, sliced like a film roll. And amidst all the screams of the people still stuck in Shibuya, the laughter of a madman sent chills down her entire body. I don't want to die. She tried to crawl away to escape, but it was of no use. She couldn't move when a building was on her legs. Malevolent Kitchen was opened in the middle of Shibuya. Even though she was out of its range, fire doesn't spread in a controlled manner. In fact, dying instantly by being in Malevolent's shrine would have been preferable. Instead, a spark of fire dropped on her, and her costume was set on fire. Aya why? Put it out. I don't want to die. She continued screaming, losing her mind and trying to take off her costume. But her hands have been stomped on. And she has a building on her which has also caught fire. Miyako slowly, painfully, burned to death. With no one to answer her screams. Read 18 chapters in advance on com/Indrashish 100 * author's note. If we reach 1,000 power stones this week, there will be 3 free membership gifts. Chapter 28, 24. Back to present. I am burning. I am right here. Don't worry. You aren't burning. It was all just a bad dream. I am here. Why? No matter how much I tried, she couldn't hear my voice. She couldn't see me. She couldn't register me. Is still stuck in the fire. My cursed energy has a calming effect. I hugged her and let my cursed energy envelope her, and slowly, her heartbeat calmed and she slowly stopped screaming. Miyako-chan. I whispered but she didn't respond. Her eyes were hollow, her mind was still living in the fire. I will kill Kenjaku and Sukuna. Damn those monsters. The trauma has broken her mentally. Don't make this face. I am fine now. My eyes snapped back to Miyako-chan, and she was looking at me with exhaustion. And then, the dam of her pent-up emotions broke, and she started crying in my arms. It hurt so much. I got run over by the crowd. A building fell on my legs. It's burning. I petted her head, having her letting it all out. She suffered so much and died, and so painfully. I have been in this world for whole 20 years. I should have noticed something. I could have taken her to a foreign trip to get away from all this. Just if I knew. Yosuke. It's all right now, who's this weird girl in your apartment? I sighed in relief that she can now notice the environment and even be jealous. That's Terahashi. She gave you her body for reincarnating you. What the heck does that even mean? Right, I need to explain everything to her. So I explained everything to her from the start to finish, leaving out the part that I know that I read about this world in a manga in my past life, or the fact that I remember my past life. I won't reveal such things to her in front of a stranger, and given that Terahashi gave her body for Miyako-chan, sending him away from the apartment will be very rude. She gulped and processed the info dump. First she bowed to Terahashi. Thank you, Terahashi-san. Giving your body, it's fine. After all, Tachibana-senpai meticulously modified this body for me. He even made my boobs bigger. And when he sleeps with you, it will be actually my body. So it's a win-win situation for me. What the hell is she saying? Miyako-chan. I don't have any such intentions. She sighed and clung to me. I trust you fully, you know. She must have fallen in love with you just because you kept her alive. Terahashi-san, I thank you for giving me this body, and putting Yamato no Orochi, and that sorcerer in Genjutsu so Yosuke was able to survive and get that snake's body. But no matter how much you try to provoke me, I am not leaving Yosuke. Please find someone else. Terahashi clicked her tongue, and started heading to the washroom after glancing at me. Terahashi-san, I am sorry, but I can't accept your feelings. I have a girlfriend. I made things clear. She shouted I know, and went to the washroom. After she was gone from our sight, we both sighed. Did you kill people? I was about to say yes, but then I started thinking, have I really killed people? I killed many cursed spirits, including the one that was formed due to the dead people. The WW2 sorcerer was killed by Terahashi. The fraud Zenin clan ancestor sacrificed himself for Yamada no Orochi. And Kashimo is technically still alive, his soul being in my Kusanagi sword. Well, technically, I didn't kill any human. I don't really care if you killed people or not, since we have been trapped in a killing game. But police wouldn't arrest you, right? Do you know a good lawyer? 'Cause I don't. I don't think laws will like you because of you messing with soul and bodies and stuff. I don't think I will be arrested. Japan has turned lawless. Most of the politicians either died or fled to another country due to such a large amount of cursed spirits in Tokyo. Even the prime minister has died. Japan is basically ruined as a country, and might be worse off post-WW2. She nodded and felt deep in thought as she clinged to me. You know, I want to kill these Sukuna and Kenjaku. You wouldn't do it alone. I want revenge with my own hands too, you know. And even if something happens to me, wouldn't you revive me? I hesitated under her burning gaze, and in the end, relented. But I will need to strengthen you with, you know, bad means. Are you fine with getting newborn souls of others? It will take me a lot of time to adapt my cursed technique in a way that I can get rid of their memories. I will do anything, Yosuke. I don't want to be a dead weight holding you back. You shouldn't have to worry about me constantly. I looked at the intense resolve in her eyes and nodded. And then, just as she was about to kiss me, the roof of my apartment got blown away by a big cursed spirit. Did my calming cursed energy attract it? Judging by its cursed energy, it should be near special grade. Read 18 chapters in advance on com/Indrashish 100 * author's note. If we reach 1,000 power stones this week, there will be 3 free membership gifts. Chapter 29, 24. 1166 words, Miyako's POV, it's just so painful. I am burning. Someone save me. Where are you? It's burning. My thoughts broke as I found myself unnaturally calming down. I am still burning, yet. Miyako-chan. It's as if someone is calling for me. Who's this? Is someone else also trapped in fire with me? Slowly, my vision was changing. The flames all around me were subsiding. And then, I saw Yosuke, making a pained face. Is it afterlife? If so, I want us to be together even after we get reincarnated. It's Yosuke's apartment. As the realization hit me, the fire burning me vanished, and I finally saw another girl in his apartment. Yosuke. As I muttered, he hugged me and patted my head, his face dripping with tears and relief. It's all right now. He was comforting me, and yet, the murderous intent from another girl in his apartment bothered me. I should have been scared, but I was weirdly calm. Who's this weird girl in your apartment? I even asked this, even if I felt that I would get killed. That's Terahashi. She gave you her body for reincarnating you. What the heck does that even mean? Even though I was calm, my voice rose at the implications. Giving her body for reincarnating me, even though she is standing right there. I guess I really am in some anime. Yosuke's aura or chakra or mana, or whatever is enveloping me. I can feel some power in my body. I guess we awaken some powers. Then, Yosuke gave me an info dump. He always explains in so much detail, instead of keeping it short, that I get more confused instead of understanding what he wants me to understand. But in short, Sukuna killed me. And Kenjaku is the mastermind behind all this, dragging Yosuke, in the death game. That Yosuke had to take over a monster's body to survive from it. And Terahashi actually died, but became a cursed spirit, undying due to not getting killed by cursed energy, and then Yosuke reincarnated her into a guy's body. So she gave her body for me. It will take a while for me to process all this. But first, thank you, Terahashi-san. Giving your body, it's fine. After all, Tachibana-senpai meticulously modified this body for me. He even made my boobs bigger. And when he sleeps with you, it will be actually my body. So it's a win-win situation for me. I understand. She is crazy. Poor girl. The death game, the deaths of the people in the group, herself dying and becoming something not human. Since Yosuke is so reliable, no wonder she fell under the classic suspension bridge effect. Miyako-chan. I don't have any such intentions. I sighed as Yosuke panicked. I know him perfectly well. He literally revived me. He loves me too much to even have such thoughts. I cling to him more, looking straight at Terahashi. Yosuke only kept her alive because her technique is life-saving, and most importantly, she is the last surviving member of his initial group. I trust you fully, you know. She must have fallen in love with you just because you kept her alive. Terahashi-san, I thank you for giving me this body, and putting Yamada no Orochi, and that sorcerer in Genjutsu so Yosuke was able to survive and get that snake's body. But no matter how much you try to provoke me, I am not leaving Yosuke. Please find someone else. I truly wish that when all this ends, she will find herself someone and be happy. She is clearly the soft Yandere type. You know, the ones that will actually not harm the person she loves. So she will not kill me, Yosuke's girlfriend. Still, I will try to set her up with someone amazing just so she doesn't bother us. She clicked her tongue and started heading to the washroom after glancing at Yosuke. And he formally rejected her. Terahashi-san, I am sorry, but I can't accept your feelings. I have a girlfriend. Shouting that, she went to the washroom, and we were finally alone. Did you kill people? I asked him, though I don't really care. I was just asking him so that we can prepare to escape to a foreign country, so that police can't catch us. He was trapped in a killing game, but our country's law has a weirdly high punishment rate. If a case is filed against him, the court will most likely sentence him to jail without bothering about the circumstances. Moreover, with his ability to mess with body and soul, I don't think we can continue living in Japan. But we must find good lawyers so that extradition wouldn't happen for us. Well, technically, I didn't kill any human. I don't really care if you killed people or not, since we have been trapped in a killing game. But police wouldn't arrest you, right? Do you know a good lawyer? 'Cause I don't. I don't think laws will like you because of you messing with soul and bodies and stuff. I don't think I will be arrested. Japan has turned lawless. Most of the politicians either died or fled to another country due to such a large amount of cursed spirits in Tokyo. Even the Prime Minister has died. Japan is basically ruined as a country, and might be worse off post-WW2. The situation is that bad. These jujutsu terrorists. You know, I want to kill these Sukuna and Kenjaku. You wouldn't do it alone. I want revenge with my own hands too, you know. And even if something happens to me, wouldn't you revive me? I am calm under Yosuke's cursed energy right now. But this way, I will be just a burden. I surely have trauma. So to fix that, I must kill those who caused it. But I will need to strengthen you with, you know, bad means. Are you fine with getting newborn souls of others? It will take me a lot of time to adapt my cursed technique in a way that I can get rid of their memories. I will do anything, Yosuke. I don't want to be a dead weight holding you back. You shouldn't have to worry about me constantly. I cling to him tighter, feeling his breath on me. Unlike the fire, I don't hate his warmth. Thank goodness. He started leaning for a kiss, and Terahashi's words bothered me. This is her body. But since Yosuke modified it for me, it should be fine, right? And just as our lips were about to connect, the roof got destroyed, and a grotesque monster ruined the atmosphere. It has no sense of timing at all. Read 18 chapters in advance on com/Indrashish 100. Asterisk author's note, if we reach 1,000 power stones this week, there will be 3 free membership gifts. Chapter 30, 25. Yuta Okatsu. Before I could stab the cursed spirit with my Kusanagi sword, another cursed spirit came, and grabbed it by neck and killed it by simply crushing it. I killed another one. That's not a cursed spirit. It's Rika. I think she is a Shikigami after OG Rika was freed. I honestly don't know for certain. Rika vanished and Yuta jumped down from the broken roof. Thankfully, I was renting it. It's my first time meeting one of the main characters. Honestly, I had totally forgot his face. Are you guys okay? Thanks for saving us. Are you an original Jujutsu sorcerer? I am Okatsu Yuta. And that just now was Rika-chan. I decided to keep reincarnation a secret for now. Who knows how it might leak. I am Tachibana Yosuke. This is my girlfriend, Yamakawa Miyako, and that's Teruhashi. Teruhashi Yuki. I didn't really pay attention to her full name. We have recently awakened. And before Sukuna or Kenjaku take action, Gojo Satoru must be unsealed. Though Angel is dead, I can adapt to the seal of Prison Realm. Though it will be very slow. Who is Kenjaku? Now, I am confused. He doesn't know who Kenjaku is. How is that possible? Or is he testing me? Still, I decided to reveal the information anyway. The guy who sealed Gojo and started the culling game, dragging us in this mess. So that's the name of the one who has taken over Geto's body. Are you the one who added the new rules? He sighed in relief. Thank you. Due to the first rule, now people don't necessarily have to kill each other. He didn't say anything about the second rule, which has backfired in a way that the players are not limited to the colonies and creating more chaos. In any case, I have a way to break Gojo's seal. But for that, you need to form a binding vow to teach us everything you know about Jujutsu, and give us all information on Kenjaku and Sukuna. It's been 20 years since I read Jujutsu Kaisen. So I don't remember everything perfectly. I know that Sukuna's techniques are slashing and fire, while Kenjaku has cursed spirit manipulation, and I don't remember what else. Since I am currently adapting to manipulating memories, this weakness might get fixed in a day or something. He nodded and said, but first, can you tell me how you know this much? I obtained the information from an incarnated sorcerer. Then I agree. Please follow me. I nodded and the three of us started following Yuta. I am still confused why he didn't know who Kenjaku is. But right now, going with Yuta is the right decision. At the very least, being surrounded by professionals for a while gives us time to rest, and I will be able to adapt to manipulating the memories, and then I will be able to remember everything. And also get some real weapons and cursed tools for Miyako-chan and Teruhashi. I gave my sword that I put 3 souls into Teruhashi, but it's not a real katana. For me, Kusanagi sword is enough. We got out of the building, and I opened the truck. Just give me the directions. Saying that, I sat on the driving seat, and the rest of them started trying to huddle together. It's a 3-seater. Teruhashi, go sit in the cargo box. She stomped her feet with irritation, and went to sit in the back of the truck, while the 3 of us somehow managed. I made myself thinner to make more space, and extended 3 tails from my shoulder to out of the window, with one getting the Kusanagi sword placed in the front. With this, we wouldn't have to worry about cursed spirits. I said to Miyako-chan, and started the truck. All of this still doesn't feel real. A few days ago, I would have never imagined things like this happening. And just as I started the truck, we all heard a voice. Domain expansion, what the hell? Read 18 chapters in advance on com/Indrashish 100 * author's note. If we reach 1,000 power stones this week, there will be 3 free membership gifts. If we reach 500 power stones this week, there will be 1 free membership gift. Chapter 31, 26. Spider Curse. Teruhashi grumbled as she sat in the cargo of the truck. She was being ignored now that Tachibana-senpai got back his girlfriend. She wanted to get away from all this, but she wants to survive this death game. She doesn't just want to survive, but she wants to become stronger. Even if it means losing herself. Even now, she can't actually say that she is Terahashi anymore. Is she a primitive single-celled organism? A dinosaur? A genocider? A simple kid? An office lady? All the memories that have become hers have made her very confused about who she actually is. Only, Terahashi seemed to be the identity that held an impression on her, which Tachibana-senpai called her. So she decided that it will be fine, no matter how many more souls she gets. She will become stronger, with Tachibana-senpai as her anchor. But then, when it came to his girlfriend, he is searching for a way so that she will not have to suffer like Terahashi herself is suffering. She realized that he doesn't care about her. At most, he wants to keep her alive so that he doesn't feel bad about not being able to save even one of the people from the group they formed on the first day. She kept biting her fingernails, going more and more insane as she realized that her anchor doesn't care much about her. And then, it suddenly hit her. I can use Koto Amatsukami. She can get him for herself. Then she realized the problem. He is already adapting to manipulate the memories. Since it is Tachibana-senpai, he will most likely break out of it soon, and then hate her for manipulating him. So she changed her target. His girlfriend, Yamakawa Miyako, is inhabiting her original body. She can just dash domain expansion. Just then, the monstrous sound of someone opening its domain rang in everyone's ears. Yuta, sitting in the front, quickly opened his domain as well. Domain expansion, spiderweb lair. Authentic mutual love. Spider, the special grade cursed spirit born out of fear of spiders, was released in the Culling games as a player by Kenjaku. Using its ability to hide its cursed energy and lower its presence, Kenjaku had been ensuring that he is extra safe from getting caught before he could seal Gojo Satoru. Spider normally wouldn't have used its domain expansion right off the bat, and instead would have stalked its prey first and prepared traps using its webs to seal their movements in a limited area. But having noticed three individuals, Yuta, Tachibana Yosuke, Terahashi, with more cursed energy than it deemed catching them off guard and killing them this way the best possible method. Yuta's domain opened 0.5 seconds after the opponent's. So, while the spider's domain expansion shattered in the contest, with Yuta's the sure hit still hit everyone in the truck for 0.5 seconds. While Terahashi may have the ability to use Flying Thunder God due to cosplaying as Minato, she doesn't have his reaction timing and instincts. So even she couldn't escape without getting hit for a bit. In the front, Tachibana, Yuta and Miyako, all three of them were hit by sticky, pointy webs all over their body for 0.5 seconds. So while they were cut, they weren't cut fully like tofu. Nothing reverse curse technique can't heal. Read 18 chapters in advance on com/Indrashish 100 * author's note. If we reach 1,000 power stones this week, there will be 3 free membership gifts. If we reach 500 power stones this week, there will be 1 free membership gift. Chapter 32, 27. 1068 words inside Yuta's domain, the spider curse spirit, Tachibana and Miyako stood aside from Yuta. Yuta and Tachibana healed themselves using reverse cursed technique, and Tachibana also healed Miyako. Yuta was surprised by seeing a newly awakened player use RCT. He even got suspicious. But right now, he focused on the spider curse spirit. Yuta was about to manifest Rika to eat it, but Tachibana suddenly made a request. Can you hold it in place for a bit? Yuta nodded and used cursed speech, stop moving. Yuta is suspicious about Tachibana. He might be connected to Geto Suguru, or more exactly, Kenjaku, who is possessing Geto's body. But since he says that he has a way of breaking Gojo-sensei's seal, he has to cooperate and figure out exactly what Tachibana can do, just in case if he has bad intentions. As the spider curse froze in its place, Tachibana approached it with Miyako. Miyako, I want to test something. It might be a bit discomfortable, I am fully prepared. To get revenge on Sukuna and Kenjaku, who are responsible for her horrible death, she is mentally prepared to do anything. Tachibana nodded and manifested a tail with his hand on its tip. One hand on Miyako-chan, one hand on the spider curse spirit, and the manifested hand on a handkerchief from his pocket. Reincarnation. As he activated his technique, the spider curse spirit reincarnated into his handkerchief, Miyako-chan reincarnated into the spider curse spirit, and her vessel became empty. Then, he reincarnated Miyako, who is currently the spider curse spirit, back into her vessel. He hasn't adapted to manipulating memories yet, but passing up on a special grade curse spirit which can use domain expansion will be a waste. He can fix Miyako's memories after he finishes adapting. And due to his proficiency in using his curse technique has improved, no curse marks appeared on Miyako's body, unlike Terahashi's. Miyako opened her eyes, feeling a strange rush of power. Her minuscule cursed energy previously was now surging so much that she felt like her hair would turn blonde, and she will start screaming. Yuta put out his domain expansion, and the three of them found themselves in the truck. Yosuke, I am feeling great. Though there are the memories of... She stopped herself from continuing saying things, as Yuta was also beside her. Tachibana nodded and thanked Yuta. Thank you for keeping it in place and saving us from its domain expansion. Don't worry about it. But Tachibana-san, what is your curse technique? I think it's something related to soul swapping. But I don't see how it can free Gojo-sensei. Tachibana thought about it, and telling Yuta will not be dangerous as long as it doesn't leak to Kenjaku and Sukuna. So it must not be known to Yuji, Megumi, and... It seems that the memories of his previous life are getting clearer as he is adapting. Tengen got captured by Kenjaku in the original timeline. As long as you take a binding vow to not leak it to anyone else, with the sole exception of Gojo Satoru of course. Yuta nodded. It's reincarnation. And thanks to it, I can gain some information from dead, and saved myself from getting killed by a player called Yamata no Orochi by taking over its body. That's why, I will be to destroy the seal by adapting to it. That should put Yuta at ease. Yuta nodded and said, then we need to get back the seal from Kenjaku. That's not necessarily the case. Doesn't Tengen have something like a backdoor or something of prison realm? You still haven't met her. Tingen-sama has something like that. It seems like Yuta truly doesn't know about it. Actually, we haven't been able to meet Tingen-sama. She is not allowing anyone to enter her place. Is Tengen working with Kenjaku? Something this big has happened, and she has been rejecting them from entering. Shouldn't she tell them the way to free Gojo? Yuta frowned and said, that possibility can't be denied. But if Tingen-sama has something like that and hiding it, we must enter her place, and be prepared to take it forcefully if she really is working with Kenjaku. Moreover, there is a possibility that she might actually be the game master of the Culling game. Kogen appeared and said, I don't know who the game master is. Then, can we add a new rule to make someone the game master? Of course not. Then, how can the Culling game be ended? It's a never-ending game. Never-ending. Tachibana poked Kogen. The adaptation to Culling game is now put on schedule after his other adaptations are completed. He will just adapt to the Culling game and end it. Though right now, his adaptation slots are full for 1. Creating a Shikigami, and 2. Manipulating memories. It sucks that he can only adapt to 2 things at a time. In any case, after these, he still need to adapt to getting slashed, fire, and anti-gravity/gravity. Moreover, adapting to Culling game will take several days since it's a never-ending thing. Adapting to exit the Culling game himself wouldn't take as much time, as compared to ending the Culling game itself. Speaking of which, where is Terahashi? Miyako asked, and Tachibana said, she must have escaped the domain expansion using Flying Thunder God. Still, I will check. He got off the truck, which now that he thought about it, it wasn't affected by that domain expansion. Does that mean the target of a domain expansion is only living beings? After all, his Kusanagi sword, which holds the soul of Kashimo, was also affected by the domain, unlike Yuta's katana. While thinking about what exactly his own domain expansion will be, he opened the cargo box's door, and only found some blood. So Terahashi was hit for a moment before she teleported away. But there is nothing to worry about, since she can cosplay as Sakura and heal herself. But why hasn't she come back? He has a bad feeling about this. Read 18 chapters in advance on com/Indrashish 100. Asterisk author's note, if we reach 1,000 power stones this week, there will be 3 free membership gifts for top 3. If we reach 500 power stones this week, there will be 1 free membership gift for top 1. Chapter 33, 28. Kidnapped, Kenjaku's Plan and New Rules 1039 words. Terahashi groaned in pain as she arrived in the hotel with Flying Thunder God, covered in cuts due to spider-cursed spirit. She transformed her cosplay from Minato to Sakura, and started healing herself. After gaining Kashimo's body, her cursed energy has gained properties of electricity. But since she is also immune to it, it didn't hurt her while healing herself. On another note, unlike normal sorcerers, she doesn't have to worry about her cursed energy output or burnout like other cursed spirits or sorcerers or death paintings like Choso. Due to merging of newborn souls with pure cursed energy, her cursed energy is extremely pure even with the mix of her original and Kashimo's cursed energy. Normally, the brain can be seen as an engine, which overheats due to domain expansion and causes cursed technique burnout. But since her cursed energy, fuel, passing through the brain is extremely pure, it doesn't put much burden on her brain. Likewise, she can spend almost her entire cursed energy in one go without putting pressure on her brain. With the combination of an overpowered cursed technique, it not requiring actual cosplays but forming them with cursed energy, just like Choso can create blood with cursed energy, her cursed energy reaching more than Yuki, a special grade, all thanks to Tachibana Yosuke's help and getting killed once, Terahashi Yuki has the potential to surpass Gojo Satoru. Even though she doesn't have the talent to achieve her potential, given enough time and experience, she will become a very strong special grade. Given enough time and experience, that is. She hadn't noticed that this hotel was occupied by US Iron soldiers who were brought from USA's military base in Japan to kidnap sorcerers. The sleeping dart hit her in the neck, and she was knocked out. While cosplaying as Sakura did give her the known abilities of Byakuga Seal, Healing Jutsu, Tsunade-style punch, it didn't actually give her the body stats, which would have included immunity to such weak poisons if cosplay actually gave the user the body of the character to the user is cosplaying as. A soldier walked over Terahashi and poked her with his gun to confirm that she was knocked unconscious. So that's a superpowered human. She teleported here, right? And then started healing her wounds after changing clothes. The captain beside the soldier said, "We can't let people like that get into the hands of China or Russia. We will protect them. Since she can teleport, keep her unconscious and give her double dosage at half-time, and drug her as well. We can't let her gain consciousness even for a moment. Tie her up entirely. She shouldn't be able to move even a finger. Then load her and securely take her to America. Capturing such a specimen, we will surely get a huge bonus." The captain grinned, imagining the amount of money he will get for it. Another soldier beside him grinned lecherously, "Captain, isn't she a really beautiful Japanese woman? Why don't we have some fun?" The captain punched the soldier in the face. "Are you retarded? She is a superhuman. Didn't you just see teleport here and heal herself? We can't be careless with her. If they are weak, we can have our fun. Both men and women. Since we have this rare chance, we should make sure that we get superhuman children through them to rise back in America. I am sure that they will be sold to the billionaires to gain superhuman children, but we can't let those greedy F***ers take all the benefit when we are risking our lives here. And shoot any Chinese you encounter. We must protect our allies from them." To gain swifter response, Kenjaku has told USA that China has already infiltrated Japan to kidnap the sorcerers, told Russia and China that USA is already doing it. USA, having military bases in Japan, has moved first in panic that they will be left behind. Currently, Kenjaku has arrived in Pakistan to convince its military dictatorship that this is their opportunity to gain power over India. His goal being able to use its nukes on Japan. No other country will use their nukes for keeping up their appearance, but Pakistan is world's terrorist hub. Still, it doesn't have the capability to accurately target the colonies. I will have to help them. He received a phone call from USA's military general. You were telling the truth. I didn't expect superhumans to be really there. Well, I have no reason to lie to you. But as our deal, $1 billion in citizenship, right? We will give you $2 billion if you join our research. I will be happy to. Kenjaku chuckled at how easy it is to fool big countries. Just play the part of a greedy guy, let them have some people as proof that he is not lying, and they are hooked in their greed and race with other countries. They must have gotten enough players out for themselves, so their bait is successful. Kenjaku has cursed spirits under his control in all the colonies to gain points. So even without being in a colony himself, he gained 200 points. He didn't intend to do it, but his hand was forced. Kogain, add a rule. From this moment on, no civilians can exit the colony once they have entered. New rule added. No civilians can exit the colony if they have entered after November 4, 1337 o'clock. Kenjaku smirked. The previously added rule: all players, except Geto Suguru and Kenjaku, can go in and out of any barriers. Only allowed players. It must be either a mistake from a newly awakened sorcerer who isn't exactly suited to be a lawyer, or an incarnated sorcerer who doesn't care about civilians. People like Yuta will never make such a drastic mistake. Kogain, add another rule. Rule number 11 will be invisible and not announced. He can't exactly let the world's militaries know that they are going to be trapped upon entering. New rule added. 11 is now invisible and will not be announced. Read 18 chapters in advance on com/Indrashish 100 chapter 34, 29. Reaching Tengen, we are here. I hit the brakes on the truck, and we got off. Along the way, I have killed over hundreds of cursed spirits with my Kusanagi sword. And some of them were actually players. 4 to be exact. So KY points jumped up from 17 to 37. I messed up and now cursed spirits are also leaving the colonies. I should have excluded cursed spirits when I made the rule. Teruhashi still hasn't returned. Has she decided to go solo? I put those thoughts and looked at Miyako-chan. After reincarnating Miyako-chan into the spider curse spirit, she has also become a player, with 25 points. I looked at her, wearing an anti-venom cosplay, and looking very eager to do some swinging along the buildings. With anti-venom abilities, she can heal, so that's a great thing. Anyway, Yuta led us inside the Jujutsu High, and we were heading in sneakily. Sorry about that. We have to hide from the higher-ups. Yeah, I think they were shitty. And I wouldn't be surprised if many of them are actually allied with Kenjaku. We sneaked into a room, and I got to look at more people from the OG story. I don't remember anyone's name. Okatsu, you brought some interesting people. The blonde woman spoke and looked at us with interest. These guys aren't human, right? The girl feels like Choso, and the guy feels like a Shikigami. Her intuition is really sharp. Tsukumo-san, this is Tachibana-san and Yamakawa-san. Tachibana-san was the one who added the new rules, and has the way to free Gojo-sensei. Well, I technically added only one of the rules. The girl with scars and laying on bed recovering shouted, really? The one called Tsukumo introduced herself. I am Tsukumo Yuki, and this is Maki. So, what is your way? In any case, we will have to retrieve the seal from Kenjaku first. First, is Tengen actually working with Kenjaku? Tsukumo frowned and said, I can't say for certain. She is rejecting meeting anyone. She has the back of prison realm, which I can break given enough time. She seemed suspicious of me. After all, if I was in her place, I would totally suspect that Kenjaku has sent some of his freak experiments to take the back of the prison realm to ensure that Gojo Satoru can never be unsealed. Can you form a binding vow that you will free Gojo Satoru? As long as I can have the back of prison realm, and given time to break the seal while you protect us so that we don't get interrupted, I can. The binding vow took effect. Now that I think about it, as long as the cost of breaking a binding vow is death, it doesn't really matter to me. Not that I would try to test it, since it is not known if death is the penalty or something worse. We headed to Tengen's place, but the whole thing was full of confusing barriers and continuously moving doors. Oi Tengen! We have found a way to free Gojo Satoru. Tsukumo shouted, but there was no response. She grumbled, it's best if we go in, assuming that she is working with Kenjaku. If she doesn't hand it over, we have to take the back of the prison realm by force. But her barriers are a real pain. I started thinking about a plan, and then it suddenly hit me. I can obviously adapt to the barriers here, but they are very complex and will take a lot of time. But Yamada no Orochi was hit by Angel's technique, which extinguishes all techniques. If it was Maharaga, it will always adapt such that a phenomenon will not affect him. But adaptation can also be done in different ways, like Maharaga created the world-cutting slash. So instead of adapting such that Angel's technique doesn't work on me, I will adapt to replicate it. In this way, things will become much simpler. Be it breaking the barriers, freeing Gojo, or killing Kenjaku and Sukuna. You don't mind if I break the barriers, right? No problem at all. I paused Shikigami creation adaptation, and started adapting to Angel's technique in a way that I will be able to replicate it. Since the body has already been hit by it, and I don't have to start from scratch, the time needed will be way less. Adaptation has already begun at a much faster speed. I covered my Kusanagi sword in cursed energy, and stabbed a door barrier. The barrier wasn't destroyed, but it did put a slight dent on it. Now I just need some time before I could stab a door again. The constant switch stopped, and an open door appeared before us. I guess that old hag is finally inviting us. Don't get lost and grab each other's hand. She might try to separate us. We nodded and entered, with Tsukumo in the front and Yuta in the back. There wasn't any effort to separate us, and we entered a lift and went down to the bottom floor. And there was blood. Wasn't it of that girl that Toji shot? Now that I think about it. It was 11 years ago that everything began to distort. Tsukumo muttered and then looked ahead. All right, everyone. The main shrine is through here. And as we entered the shrine, we entered a place where the entirety of our surroundings were pure white. It's like I am getting flashbanged. And then, before our eyes, Tengen materialized, looking at me with disapproval. It's a pleasure to meet you. Michizane's descendant, child of Zenin, inhabitor of Yamada no Orochi, and cursed spirit human hybrid. Read 18 chapters in advance on com/Indrashish 100 chapter 35, 30. The Tengen problem, aren't you gonna say hello to me, Tengen? This isn't the first time we have met, Tsukumo Yuki. Why did you close off the tombs of the Star Corridor? Are you working with Kenjaku? Tengen shook her head. I was afraid that you might be in alignment with Kenjaku. I can't see into human heart. She suddenly stopped and looked at me. I have blocked the cursed spirit Kogain, but it seems that someone has added 2 new rules to the Culling game. I frowned. Aside from Kashimo, the more powerful players were the ones Yuta fought in the original timeline. And since they can come and go from the barriers as they please, I guess getting more points more quickly wouldn't be difficult. What are the new rules? First, no civilians can exit the colony if they have entered after November 4th, 1337 o'clock. I froze as I heard that. I only included players in the rule that I added. But why would someone try to trap civilians, when everyone would have exited the colonies anyway because they were given the chance? Tsukumo said, civilians don't know anything about what is happening. Most would have chosen to exit, but many would have chosen to stay, out of curiosity about the supernatural thrill or just pure stupidity. And the player who added must be someone who likes to kill harmless civilians. There is no shortage of people like that, especially from WW2 and the era before it. Tengen continued, the next rule is even more concerning. 11, which is the rule trapping civilians, is now invisible and will not be announced. This must be the doing of Kenjaku. He is most likely tricking a large amount of civilians into the barriers. Because of the rule allowing players freedom to go out of the barriers, Kenjaku will not be able to fill the barriers with cursed energy. Military invasion. I muttered in realization. Kenjaku wouldn't be able to trick a large number of Japanese people to go into the barriers. Since not only no one knows him, but also because of the state of Japan. But if other countries know about the supernatural, they will do almost anything to get their hands on it. And since Teruhashi isn't returning, has she been caught for experimentation? I can accept death. Go to Tokyo Colony no. Around Ikuta Hotel. Teruhashi might have gotten captured by US military stationed in Japan. After freeing Gojo, I will head to Tengen interrupted me, he can't leave. Kenjaku is trying to fill the barriers with cursed energy to start a ritual of merging me with Japan. And I can't trust you, so both Tsukumo and Okatsu will need to supervise you as you open the prison realm. Maki said, then I will go and inform the Jujutsu headquarters to prepare for military invasions, and stopping US troops, ships and planes from leaving Japan. Miyako-chan grabbed my hand, and I calmed down. It's the current best thing to do. First, Gojo Satoru needs to be freed as a deterrent against other countries. Take this. Tengen gave Maki a cursed tool, a sword, and Maki left. I held out my hand to Tengen for the back of prison realm, but Tsukumo interrupted. Why are you lying? How can you merge with anyone else other than Star Plasma Vessel? 11 years ago, after failing to merge with a Star Plasma Vessel, my aging accelerated and my awareness diminished. The very world became myself. The way I was before, I could only merge with a Star Plasma Vessel. But now I have evolved past that, and merging with someone other than a Star Plasma Vessel isn't impossible. But you are just one person. How can you merge with everyone? Miyako-chan asked, and Tengen repeated the reason. The very world has become myself. What you are seeing is just a projection with my barrier techniques. Tsukumo frowned and asked, but this still doesn't explain some things. Are you really not working with Kenjaku? Why wouldn't you just refuse to merge? Because now that I have evolved, I am more cursed spirit than a human. And that makes me a target of cursed spirit manipulation. That's why I need bodyguards. I can make it so that you are no longer a cursed spirit. Then Yuta can go and save Teruhashi, right? Adapting to Angel's technique and replicating it to free Gojo will take a long time. On the other hand, with the reversal of my curse technique reversion that wouldn't work. I will return to my past life, right? But that's probably just for my soul, not body. Moreover, I am Tengen in a single lifetime. Before past mergers it wouldn't count as a previous life but a single, continuous life. Yuta interjected, there is another way. Directly reincarnate Tengen-sama into a human body fit for her. Amanai Riko's body should still be preserved here, right? Tachibana-san can reincarnate her. I am against that. What about the her then? Tsukumo disagreed. As more of my memory of past life is becoming clear due to adaptation, I now remember the moment Riko, a star plasma vessel, was shot by Toji. Instead of making Tengen Amanai, I can make Amanai Tengen. Read 17 chapters in advance on com/Indrashish 100 chapter 36, 31. Amanai Riko 1009 words. Instead of making Tengen Amanai, I can make Amanai Tengen. As I said that, Tengen frowned and Tsukumo nodded. Let's do this. This hag is useless anyway. Though just to be sure, Amanai will retain her sense of self and Tengen's skills and memories, right? After all, Terahashi is still Terahashi despite so many souls with the whole memories of their entire sets of past lives. The memories are just information without ego. And Miyako-chan isn't acting like the spider curse spirit as well, even though she has its memories of trapping and eating people. It's like seeing a horror move in first POV with high-quality VR. With what actually happened to Miyako-chan, horror no longer scares her. And since the shape of her soul became identical to her vessel again after being a cursed spirit, there shouldn't be much side effects. But in any case, I will be able to manipulate memories in around half a day. Tengen didn't look convinced. It's better to just protect Tengen. Do you even know how many people's self-of-sense have you buried inside yourself by merging with them? You have lived for so damn long already. Moreover, since you yourself said that you are more like a cursed spirit, I can't trust you with the fate of the Jujutsu world. What if you run amok? My barriers, in the end, you are the one maintaining it, not someone else. You are more cursed spirit now. What if you decide to stop maintaining the barriers one day? Breaking Gojo Satoru's seal will take a long time. Who knows how many countries enter Japan in the meantime, and how many people they kidnap for experimentation. To save Japan and make sure that you don't turn on us in the future, this is the best way possible. Moreover, don't you feel responsible for Aminai's pitiful life and death because of you? Or your thinking has already shifted to a curse and you don't care? Tengen sighed and took out the back of Prison Realm, and handed it to Yuta. Okatsu, do you trust them? One has taken over the body of Yamato no Orochi, and the other is a hybrid of a cursed spirit and human. Well, I was also designated as a cursed human once. So like Gojo-sensei, I will trust them. Tsukumo continued taunting Tengen, isn't binding vows the fastest way to establish trust? Why are you hesitating? Tengen sighed and then looked at me. Let's make the binding vows. So after the required binding vows, a casket and Tengen's body inside a tree-like thing appeared. I opened the casket, and it had Aminai Riko's preserved body. It was a bit degraded, but I removed the degradation by manipulating her body. Adaptation is just too good of an ability. Then, I used my cursed technique. Save a cat, get hit by truck-kun. Reincarnation. I used my curse technique, and Aminai Riko's soul returned to her body. She opened her eyes and muttered, "Huh. I am alive. Wait, why am I in a casket? Did I just wake up in my funeral?" She started freaking out, and Tsukumo tried to calm her down. You have been revived. That doesn't make any sense. I was getting impatient, so I explained it to end this quickly. Some bad things have happened, but I have revived you with my curse technique. I will now make you Tengen, and I promise that your sense of self will not be erased, and you will remain in your body. This will be different from the merger you were about to go through. Do you agree to it? I will remain. Though you will get Tengen's memories as well, and it will like a high-quality VR movie in Tengen's POV, without any ego or such. But if you don't want the memories, I can fix that as well in some time. She looked around, and her eyes landed on Tengen. Something bad has happened, right? Where are Gojo and Geto? Geto is dead and Gojo is sealed. Then I agree. She resolved herself pretty quickly for a kid. Since she has agreed, I extended one of my hands to reach Tengen's body, and the other on Aminai's head. Tengen, the barriers will hold even if you don't constantly maintain them, right? Just acting as a supply of cursed energy will do the job. And there is a backup supply in place as well. I nodded and reincarnated Aminai into Tengen's cursed spirit body, and reincarnated Tengen herself into Aminai's hairband. Aminai's body became empty, and she became Tengen. The projection of Tengen disappeared. Then, I reincarnated Aminai back into her body, and her cursed spirit body flew into her body and reincarnated perfectly. Since her soul's shape automatically changed to be like her body, she most likely wouldn't run amok. She opened her eyes, and Tsukumo asked her, "Are you Aminai Riko or Tengen?" "I am Riko." I don't feel particularly different in my mind, but I have got this energy, and like a bunch of memories lying around like a NEET. Tsukumo sighed in relief, and then whispered to me. You did a good thing reincarnating that hag as a headband. She noticed. She can see souls. Anyway, let's start freeing Gojo. Yuta handed me the back of Prison Realm, and said, I will go and rescue Terahashi-san. I nodded and Yuta left. Now, only me, Miyako-chan, Tsukumo and Amanai remained, along with the back of the Prison Realm. I took out my Kusanagi sword from my wrist, and started hitting it continuously, adapting to replicate Angel's Curse technique. It's still a rather complex technique. Even something as simple as Sukuna's slashes took Maharaga several hits to adapt, and he can most likely adapt to things much faster than me, given that I only have 2 heads of Yamada no Orochi. So, if I have to guess, Gojo Satoru will be free in day. Read 17 chapters in advance on com/Indrashish 100 chapter 37, 32. Versus Kenjaku, 12 hours later, Kenjaku has breached the barriers. Best of luck. Amanai Riko shouted and hid within the barriers with the back of the Prison Realm. A few hours ago, Tachibana Yosuke has gained memory manipulation, and remembered the entirety of knowledge of the Jujutsu Kaisen manga. And so, he shared information about Kenjaku with everyone and made plans. Ideally, Gojo Satoru would have been freed before Kenjaku arrives, if the original timeline is to be considered. But knowing how much plot armor Sukuna and Kenjaku have, it was certain that he will arrive before Gojo gets freed. And the suspicion was right. Plot armor is real. Tachibana muttered and looked at Miyako. They nodded. It's time for revenge. Still, since he really arrived, it must mean that he somehow spied on them. Meaning, the secret of a reincarnation is most likely out. Back at Kenjaku, he had to arrive here in a hurry. To ensure nothing unexpected happens that might ruin his plans, he had spread cursed spirits to keep an eye on Yuta and Yuki. While Yuki couldn't be spied on due to Jujutsu High's barriers, he had been able to spy on Yuta. And from that, he learned the information about the back of the Prison Realm. But since he didn't have a superpowered heavenly restriction like Mekamaru, he doesn't have the range to communicate with the cursed spirits like usual. Instead, he had to create chains of cursed spirits which will communicate with each other, and then give him the information. I didn't expect an awakened player to cause so much problem. He grumbled and wondered just how troublesome reincarnation is. It's like mojitos. A soul-related technique, and the user showing this much growth in such a short amount of time. Moreover, it seems like he can probably interact with souls, so that's why he got information that even he didn't know. Or does a reincarnation actually resets him back to the time of his awakening after every time he dies? That's probably more reasonable. So Kenjaku is coming here on the assumption that his curse techniques are already revealed to everyone. On the other hand, he hasn't seen reincarnation firsthand, and the cursed spirits which were spying on Yuta were stupid and could only convey the conversation. Moreover, he has no idea what Tsukumo Yuki's curse technique is. So he is going in mostly blind against Yuki, Tachibana, Tengen, and Miyako. But before Sukuna can gain control, he can't let Gojo Satoru out. He is on serious back foot. But he can't back out of it. Barriers opened and Yuki arrived in front of him. What's your plan, Kenja? Domain. Wasting no time, Kenjaku decided to take out the main threat, who has an unknown cursed technique. Expand domain, Shaun, all-enveloping Garbhadhatu. Expansion, Celestial Star Rage. Kenjaku's open domain opened a full 1 second before Yuki's. Kenjaku's domain got a structure of wombs and distorted face, while Yuki's domain got a white sphere. Kenjaku's domain expansion, all-enveloping Garbhadhatu allows him to use any technique of someone he had taken over in the past with sure hit effect. Since Geto's technique is the strongest, he would have used Cursed Spirit Manipulation's sure hit effect. But given that he still has more opponents, he can't afford to waste his Cursed Spirits. Right now, he just needs to shatter Yuki's domain, and have her cursed technique burn out. After that, others will probably jump him while he himself is in cursed technique burnout, but at the very least, Yuki will be dead. Or at the very least, severely injured and poisoned with deadly diseases if he used it. So he applied blood manipulation in his domain's sure hit. But strangely enough, even though he has opened his domain a whole second before, Yuki's domain didn't shatter. In fact, its barrier spread out and contested equally with his. Moreover, the size of Yuki's domain turned out to be bigger than Kenjaku, thus invalidating the advantage of his barrier-less domain of hitting the outside of his opponent's domain expansion's barrier. Ha 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 ha. I didn't expect this at all. You must have taken a death-binding vow. Kenjaku grinned just thinking about it. Of course. This means that the new player can actually revive people with his technique. And that means, a death-binding vow of others is a free power-up with no actual consequences. The result of the ongoing domain clash, equal. He wanted to shout about it, but he kept his mouth shut to not reveal that he already knows about his hidden opponent's techniques. My technique, brain transplant, allows me to taking over someone's body by transplanting my brain into their body. My technique, BOM by Yi, allows me to imbue virtual mass in my body. My domain expansion, all-enveloping Garbhadhatu, allows me to use any one curse technique of my bodies that I have used in the past with sure hit effect. My domain expansion, Celestial Star Rage, gives center of my domain the mass of a star. And only I am unaffected by it. Both of them revealed their hands to strengthen their domains. The result, equally matched. Read 17 chapters in advance on com/Indrashish100. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Novels Wonderland.